that we've got coming up. The arena's quite loud, so I won't lie, I didn't hear anything that
เหมือ
was
นเดิม
said. But I'm
ทำลายประตูก่อน
looking forward to seeing that waylay coming into play. A lot of space that can be taken, especially kicking things off on the attack side for DRX. And as we've already seen today, a pretty hefty attack side dominance out of both sides in our first
2-1
matchup.
ชอบไอ้ฮุนวินเวลามันเคลียร์เป้าไล่เป้า
from DRX, but the same level of patience
Hey,
shown
come here,
from the
Tokum.
defensive
Sonne tan
side,
tapatikam.
spread across the map and looking for those little pieces of information. But DRX are the ones to gain the benefit of this slow play as they manage to pick themselves up an orb towards that A site. Of course, ult's not going to be in play in this round, but it's all about the
เอาละครับ
future. For now, we look towards the B site. A trap
แนท
in
กับ
play.
โมครับ
Two players standing by to take this fight.
เอาวะ no access to site
เฮ้ย
already closing the distance and finding some info.
We'll be able to retreat back.
โดนเทรดอย่างเร็ว
Spotted, but it's the openers
เฮ้ย
going
เฮ้ย
away.
แฟลชแบ็ก
And Trex has been dealt with as well.
เอาแล้วไง
Two players on the rotate, but I'm looking at that flank coming out from Freeing. I wonder if he's been heard. I think he has. pannysgg just pop flashing back in the other direction, but even just the time that is being bought is going to cause Liquid quite a lot of issues.
At this point, that flank all the way around is probably what's going to seal
เพื่อนที่ปารีสโทรมาบอกว่าแนทระวังสายครับ
Thomas number 1 was saying was
ชิบหายแล้วแนทจริงไม่โดนหรือเปล่า
อะไรไม่ได้ยินเสียงโดดลงเลย
Earlier on, his creme brulee is
ต้อง
round 2E, but now he's gone out of the round and the defuse already tapped.
เฮ้ย
Pressure, put
Kiko
on, Kiko,
อ่ะ
has the shot on the flashback.
เป็นเรื่อง
No, diffuser quick.
เป็นเรื่องฮะ
ไม่ทันเซี่ยววิ
Just about getting there in time. I need to see that one in a replay because that looked like it was down to a pixel, if not none.
เกือบ
Yeah, I
เกือบ
think someone somewhere is going to be quite frustrated with that. Probably the Liquid fans, because that looked so desperately close from a position of, I want to say, impossibility.
มันลงมาตรง 0.01
Point.
Go on, give me it. Give me it.
ไม่หมุนหัวเลยอะ
That's actually outrageous. That's completely
He thought
outrageous.
he had it. He thought he had it. I
Okay.
thought he had it.
0.01.
ไหนไปแล้วเนี่ย
He
ไหน
had it. Like, in everybody's minds, he had it, but it will be 1-0 for DRX
โซโคดว่ะ
already. A good start for DRX, and of course, going back to the beginning of the year, these are two teams that
ดราม่าเลยครับ มาวินแรก
I was going to say that Liquid coming in are going to be even happier with the map pool changes. Icebox going out has helped them quite a bit. But in 2025, get that guy back. It was 5-0
พี่แนทอยู่หน้า B
for
ไม่หน้า A
Liquid, but 3-0 for DRX. And now we are back to that roster of DRX that kind of started out the year. There's been so many different changes, so many people coming in and out and all about, but this was the roster that they wanted to look towards.
เมื่อกี้ถ้าตัวสุดท้ายมันหมุนหัวแบบเจสันนะจบแล้วไม่มีสกิลหมุนหัวไง
As it should be, really, with what they're up against.
แล้วแนทมันถูกทามมิ่งมาเดินออกมา
Give
เช็ค
these pistols the chance, but I
เคลี
mean,
ยร์ครั
the
บเคลียร์
problem is executing
โอ้โห
blind into a site.
ลูก
It
ปาก
has
เลย
its
ฮะ
risks, and I
แต่
think
ว่า
that's one
ไม่มี
thing
แล้วปืนพ
Hyunmin
ก
is here to help out with the ability to use
คิโคต้องแบบทะลุสโมกออกมาแบบโบบะโบบะ
as he runs into the site, grabs them point of contact and fades back out. We saw it in the pistol round with great value.
ดีมัน
Here
ไม่
it's
ยิง
used to scout out that.
เอ้า
Whoops. Here it's used to
เซฟ
scout
อ่ะ
out
เซฟ
that
เรามอง
there's
งี้ดี
nobody
คนแรกครับ
Planted.
มาถึงก็เอาเลย
แม่งไม่ไหวว่ะกูเครียด
big stacks.
ไปดีกว่า
Lothar's disappointed, but it will be the way to go. You don't want to give those orbs over to the rest of the squad. It is
แนท
just
เป็นผู้
better
นำเทรนด้วยอันนี้
to go down to the
Bye,
map,
Gola.
deny DRX those orbs that they have been farming up, and a key point being flashback 2 away. So those final 3 kills,
ก็ดีนะ
if
ผม
any
ชอบ
of
นะ
them
วิจิลา
landed in his hands,
ไม่เสีย
that
เว
could
ลา
cause big
ไม่เสียเวลารอบอมระเบิดนะ
problems. That's why they go diving off.
ถือว่าเจตนาชัดเจน
ปืนอะ
Yeah. Have a
When
little bit
G2
of
อะ
fun
มาถึง
flying
มันโดน
through
เล
the
ย
map, but this is where
ไม่เสียเวลาดิ
things should get that little bit more interesting. Rifles across the board for Liquid, and of course, just touching base on expectations here. DRX form-wise, well, it took another team eliminating Talon for them to actually make it to the event in the first place. Liquid, on the other hand, champions of EMEA with a flawless 3-0
เกียร์มิด
victory
เลย
after attending every single international. These two teams should, in theory,
ยิงทุกอย่างยิงทุก
be
อย่าง
at different levels, but we're
Game level.
yet to see Liquid take the board.
ยิงโดนยิง
Well, this is where that should change. They've got
สวยละ
rifles, but they've not
Net.
got nats. Yonin landing that shot from afar, and now Team Liquid on the retake. They're forced into a fight close range
Ui.
against weaker weapons. Camo and Trex do well to start, but it's still a 3v3. The spike planted. The time not quite against them yet. They're still planning to work with great flash from Flashback. And that's going to put the numbers into favor for DRX. 1 HP on Flashback, a drone going through though, and that's going to stop a diffusion. Even going to get the tag on Trex, so more time taken. And as it ticks away, that spike getting closer and closer to its final moments. Kiko traded out, and now Trex in an impossible situation. He has to bait them into a fight. Patience from DRX.
เจอกันด่านบายครับผม
It's too far gone. He'll make them pay for the round, but it's DRX 3-0.
Yeah, such an important start. I mentioned about this attack side.
นี่แหละครับ
how things have been going.
ปีนี้เทคจะเป็น MVP ทุกคนจะกลับมาใช้เมาส์มือสาย
This was a, I'll be honest, a relatively weak fight. There was a marshal in the mix, which that's ridiculous. And then the rifle went down to 1 HP immediately. It was just, I want to say the
โลกเราจะหมุนกลับไปสู่จุดเริ่มต้น
He just didn't really- he was
ทุกอย่าง
like,
จะย้อนกลับไปอยู่จุดเดิม
I absolutely
เมาส์มือสายจะกลับมา
And that was enough to buy that time off the clock. Someone only just coming back into the roster.
Energy's good.
I'll be honest, it looked like he never left.
อินเอียจะไม่ได้เป็นรับไม่ได้เป็นที่นิยมเหมือนเดิม
They look dominant regionally. Look at that grand final against GX, who ended up making waves here in the international scene already in their opening matchup yesterday. So for DRX, a team that has had these roster changes back and forth, you expect them to look a little weaker. And against the Goliath-like Team Liquid, perhaps a fall.
แต่ถ้าวันนี้
Pacific's number
DRX ช
4
นะ
is in here. They are making
เอ้า
waves indeed. It's an ambitious play from Nats. Back on the KZ server now. As, this one's looking like a 4-0.
เน็ต
but
เน็ต
that
ไม่ได้พก
surprise
ฟอร์มมาด้วยหรือเปล่าเนี่ย
is if it
แย่
is
แล้ว
flawless round from DRX.
Oh, never mind. It's not going to be. Already won at least for pannysgg. It will be an upgrade onto the Outlaw, but it's only going to really be deadly to one of the players.
ไม่ไหว
He'll likely want to do some damage and then go down. Holding onto it's not really going to have too much value for the next round. For Camo, it's that
ทำไม
same
นี้
sort of talking
แนทลืม
point.
เอาฟอร์มมาด้วยอ่ะ
How much damage
ที่เยอรมันอ่ะ
can they do? As of right now, it's not looking very much. They are far enough out already from that spike. They will be able to escape. Nice shot from pannysgg. That's at least one. Now the rest have to cross over into the same corner that you already see Marco in. It's whether he can do anything more. And
He can remove the weapon.
yep, he's just about, I was going to say, it was going to be close though. Like he almost didn't hit
ได้คิวเฉย
the point of demise quick enough and then would have just had that into the
เฮ้ย
next round.
โอ้โหอะไรวะนะ
แต่ละช็อต
That gets the credit anyways. Ulti's online now for DRX. It's
เอาหน้าพูดไม่ได้
4-0 up. Oh, there's no need to show that again. And again.
Blocked it.
Oh, Andy. Yeah, that knows what he did. But for DRX coming into this round, yes, both teams are now on rifles. So for Team Liquid, that should be their chance to fight back on square footing. But
นี่แนทหันไปมองห
Ultimate's
น้า
in
เท
play
ค
on the other side make this a
ไม่
little
ต
bit
ล
of
ก
an uphill battle for the defending side, especially thinking about how
อยู่
much
ดีๆก็
impact
ไป
you
สาย
have.
เอนเตอร์เทนเฉยเลย
Popping
ง
that
ง
Yoru ult alongside
ปกติไม่ใช่
so
สายนี้นี่
two together, Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury can easily net you not just space, but a pick.
เริ่มต้นมักจะมีเสมอ
Early
Oh.
destruction.
เบน
Both
ถือว่า
trips gone.
ทำหน้าที่ได้ดี
Clearly
ครับ ใช้ของ
knowing the positions that Nats likes to place them, which I'll be honest is impressive. He's normally very well known for being flexible and where that utility is put into play. But those already being removed, it leaves him at the back of the site. Now there is still the cam in the corner, ready to catch them as they walk out, and an immediate dash.
Oh.
Trex is ready for it.
บินมานี่เลยอุ้ย
มัน
And
ยิ
an
งหมด
advantage increased. A second onto Bane.
บอกแล้วเนี่ยแหละ MVP
Backside's
ปี
still
นี้
being hold. They can't have got any further forward. Flashback is going to try and peek this, but well, that flank yet to really be
ไป
spotted.
เลย
ไปสไลด์ MVP
In fact, it's not going to have any real impact here, you'd imagine.
ตั้งแต่แนทเรียกรอยยิ้มมาขึ้นเพื่อนก็เริ่มมาครับ
Close to heaven, they don't know that he's
ไหนบอกก็ต้องมีตลกกันบ้างใช่ไหม
นี่ไง
ไม่คอเดี๋ยวมูทีมไม่ดี
Towards the spawn, Flashback already watching for it. He'll find his first fade.
อาจจะยังตลกไม่พอ
Fall back on out as the ult is popped. Two spotted. Frink knows that he probably has a target coming his way. Ready for the fight towards the vents. They're suspicious.
Camo.
Swing from Camo gets him. but the numbers kept even as the spike keeps on ticking. This is a round Team Liquid desperately need, and the defuse inside the smoke puts the pressure on. Already heard the half, drop out.
บ้าจัด
The Team Liquid at long last.
สุ่มจริงนะ
ถือว่าทำหน้าที่ได้ดีมาก
Yeah, no, it really
Camo.
was. Skin of their teeth. Had to diffuse within the
นับ
smoke.
หนึ่ง
Solid
ถือว่าไม่ช้าเกินไป
กูตลกไป4 ราวแล้วราวช่างกูยั
Really
งไม่
got
ได้
off
เล่น
to
แบ
a
บนี้
flying start. 8 and 4 playing the Aura, of
Oh,
course,
heck,
known
didn't
for
start
more of that sentinel role within the team. But clearly having that individual brilliance that can turn around on its head. As you mentioned, it is the first round onto the board for Liquid. But it's still going to put them in a very interesting spot economically. In fact, this next round may be worth 2. Both teams somewhat on the brink.
ใช้กันหมดเลย
Camo may look like he has a weakness, but
คิ
as
โกะ
we get
ทั้ง
to
ไอ้
his
นี่
POV, you
ถ้าวัน
can
นี้
see Bladestorm in hand.
เทรคเป็น MVP เดี๋ยวเสียบ
Looking for the fight.
Final
Far
Maul
away. Ult comes in a little late from Pannysgg, so site clearance comes in. DRX able to gather themselves at least a bit of control, you would imagine, but
อ้า
they
ว
stall
วัน
out.
ไปวันแต่ไม่ได้เข้า
Kept
ด้วย
back by the smoke.
โดนไปเทคเบรก
Kept back by the ultimate of Pannysgg as well, as they can't use
Sehr
their
high,
abilities to break through
ตี
to
แรง
this
ตี
site.
เฮ้ย
It's going to cause
เฮ้ย
delay. Camel's down to 20 already. That's a phenomenal spam. And Yunnan still with a full utility belt. They didn't get caught out. The timing didn't catch them. They'll still be able to have a pretty decent sight hit with that free recon, essentially.
Already. Oh, it's a very awkward fight and spotting out Camo. He's decided to go aggressive, but he's been caught.
หมดเลย
behind.
แปดแบ็ค
The flashback takeover. They were so busy watching where Hyunmin went.
เอ้า
But they've ended up losing the rest of the site. A singular shot dart kill for Trex. But I'm just
Nhiều
looking
cơn.
at Nats. He's not fighting this. He's got no interest. In fact, just going to go sit within his setup. DRX
ด้าน
going to
นี้เหรอ
have themselves a 5th round. And
ขอย้อนไปดูคอม
it all comes
อี
back
จีอีกรอบ
on. Again, this double duelist is just putting the defensive side into disarray.
Well, you can see from Team Liquid's perspective on the B site, the whole idea is that they're going to stop you from breaking through that choke point. And they do that with Pannysgg's utility, stalling them out completely. But the problem is you have Flashback being able to just make his way in without actually challenging, while Hyunmin is taking that initial contact and is unpunishable, essentially. As he dashes in immediately refracts back to B main, and that's Flashback's moment to take advantage of the chaos, ripping the back line of Team Liquid wide open. And as you said, immediately that call is made by Nats. We're not playing this retake. Even though they'd found one, the 2v4, not worth it when the weapons are, as you said at the start, not in a good spot. Economically, they're punished already. The Bladestorm made up for it the next round. That won't be there.
Yeah.
อาจจะต้องมีเจาะเกาะกับซันไฟ
แม่งแบบเลือดเต็มเลยนะโกะ
โดนแบบ7575
มันจะใจแข็งเลยขนาดนั้น
I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna find
Talk
him,
about
and then
headshot.
I'm gonna retreat back, and at the same time as he's retreating, Flashback is going forward.
พวกจะต้องมีใจแอนทองไอทองอ่ะ
Focused on the guy
กู
who's
สูทองอะไรเงี้ย
dived into the site. And they don't realize how far Flashback managed to get. Like, you can even see from the aggressive position of Camo, he's trying to bladestorm the players down on the other side. He doesn't even know there's a guy behind him.
Yep, this is a problem. When you combine that with the utility thrown in towards the back of the site, which I believe it was Mako's paranoia, it would have sent Kiko running towards the spawn. I mean, that's the guy that should be covering the angle the Camo was
เจอแล้วว่า
taking
ทีม
over behind.
ที่
That
หลอก
angle
ทุกคน
was taken by Flashback.
ลิควิดใช่ไหม
It's
Liquid
so
แต่ละ
well put together by DRX. That is a beautiful set play. And for Team
มันไม่ได้เอา
Liquid,
ฟอร์มในอีมีมาด้วยอ่ะ
Team Liquid, the set play still works.
ยังไม่ตื่น
For Team
นี่
Liquid
เดี๋ยว
now,
มัน
they
ก็
call
เหมือน
a pause,
ใน
but of
เอ็น
course
อาร์จี
they
เมื่อกี้
5-1 down. And this
กลัว
isn't
หลับ
just
ยาวดิ
5-1, but you know what, guys? We haven't gotten in our rhythm yet. No, your rhythm is being disturbed. You are dancing to DRX's tune, and you're tripping all over yourself.
เอาไอเซล่าออกปั๊บโหดเลยทั้ง RQ ทั้ง DRX โอ้โห ชิบ
A
หาย
4-round
ละ
gap doesn't seem like much, but this could get out of hand if DRX continue this momentum. And think about the one round Team Liquid won. It was still
เหมือน
extremely
ตอนโต
close.
เกียว
Well, yeah,
เหมือน
and
ตอน
that's
มาสเตอร์
something
แบ
to
งคอก
talk
นี่แห
about
ละ
as well. Is like you're seeing those trips being shocked. You're seeing positions clearly being well
แดน
known.
เรื่องมาฟอร์มมา
Even
เลย
though this is a slightly different Liquid roster, compositionally, it's all
แบ
the
บเขา
same.
แบบเขาพี่
So I feel like DRX, with the amount of extra time they've had to prep, knowing the game well in advance for that first match of the tournament, this is seeming like a well-drilled
เป็นเคสเราเหมือน
side.
ทีมอื่นเหรอ
And Liquid, well, if they did prep
คือ
for
แล้ว
the
ปล่อยอ
pressure
อก
they're currently up against, they've probably prepped for everything because I don't think most would have seen this coming.
Now, I don't mean to peel back the curtain too much and sort of explain how the trick is done, but that wasn't actually Tom earlier. That was Durka. And really, I hate to spoil the magic for all you.
อาบิดนี่เมื่อก่อนมัน
One
บุ
of
ก
the
อะไร
things
เฮ้ย
that
เลย
he
ใช่
said
ไหม
when he saw that agent
จำไม่
slide
ได้
come
ละ
up was that he's a huge fan of Waylay. And honestly, and he also said he thinks Hyunmin's going to do fantastic with the buff from the croissant earlier on. Now,
Yeah, I didn't say that.
if he is a fan of the Waylay already, I imagine watching DRX use it is either just confirming that opinion or maybe even building on it. Because the way they're using it is so damn nice combined with Flashback. This double duel is doing so much work. And Team Liquid's job
คม
shouldn't be to work on this round. It should be to think about the next, but they've already managed to make it competitive.
เฮ้ยไม่เนียน
Oh man, I thought
Good,
Camel
good.
had the play, but they spammed through the smoke.
Spike planted.
Yeah. Nats as well, incredibly low. He did take a hit. Because of that, once again, looks to fall back and just save the weapon. It really feels like that has been the majority of his game so far. We've talked about him a lot.
คม
In EMEA, he was tearing everybody a new one, and one of the sort of most exciting storylines for me coming into this match is him playing against Marker, a rematch of that Gambit versus Vision Strikers back from 2021. That was the last time they played against each other. It's one hell of a storyline with a lot of parallels. A superstar turned IGL, looking like a veteran at only 23 years of age. Well, right now, Nats hasn't showed up yet, which I don't think is something I've said for ever.
Oh, we just cast the whole of stage 2, and
ลงตัวอยู่
I can confirm, first time I've heard that out of your mouth.
DRX คอม
Maybe
นี้ลง
like
ตัวอ
in
ยู่
a pistol round, like one single time.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd say he hasn't turned up in a
it's
pistol
turned up
round,
yet.
you know?
It's been one round. It is definitely alarming. Seeing how this is playing out, a great sign for DRX again with the adjustments they've had to make with the constant roster shifts, bringing back the start of the year look. And I mean,
พี่ก็คิดอย่างนั้นต้องเป็น
this coming back in from the start of the year, I
Yeah.
suppose. Everything slotting into place. This Waylay, this Yoru, sensational. And we're only starting to see, the first few pages of the playbook.
ถือว่า
There
เซอร์
is
ไพรส์อยู่ช็อต
definitely
นี้
more behind this, and Team Liquid, if they lose this one, they're going to be terrified of what's
มัน
to
ไปเล่น
come.
ในแรงได้เลยนะ
มีแฟดกับสแกนลอยมา
เออ ที
First
เด็ด
point
แล้ว
of contact, he
Ui.
sort of swapped positions again,
เน็ตบอกอะไรวะเนี่ย
directly onto the trip.
อยู่เฉยๆก็โดน
They have read his playbook. It
มันไม่
seems
เข้า
like
ด้วย
every single one of them has been perfectly positioned to just remove Nats' utility.
เจ็บ
But at least for now, it is a 5-player build-up in towards that A site. Trex has his ult, but is incredibly far away. I don't think he's going to have any impact in this round. And on the other side of things, immediately we'll see the popping of that dimensional drift. That's all the info they need. And they're trying to throw you to
Oi.
Oi.
nothing for Pannysgg, but he does
เอาละ
survive.
Site being pressured, but around
เอ
the
อ
side,
เทคเทคเทค
still able to find another before going down as the
มันกระสุนมันหมดแล้วเหรอเมื่อกี้
play. Hunter's Fury to push them back.
ไม่รู้เลย
35 seconds, but no way to deny this plan now. It will come through, and it's on Hyunmin to find something from here. If he gets this, he's got another refract online. This could be
ค
huge
มด้วยโฮมุมอยู่
for DRX to get back into this play. The drone thought about by Trax, and he'll wish he put it through. A huge punish from Hyunmin, but he falls eventually, leaving Mako alone.
โกะ2-1
It's a great start. His util's been well placed, but now he's going to do it rifle in
โอ้ย
hand.
นั้นมันรู้
Solving it.
อืม
Connects to the
Yeah,
head.
some
Team
more win,
Liquid,
though.
6
อ่านขาด
to
ครับ
2.
ผม แล้วพูดไปหยุด
It's
จังหวะ
not
นี้
great, but hell, it's a start.
บอกเห็นไหมกูคิดไปแล้วว่าอยู่
It's
ข้างหลัง
something.
ไซส์
And then that's his.
โม้อยู่
Okay, it's his second kill, but it's his
Can't,
first impact kill. The last was in the last round where they basically already lost it already.
เมื่อกี้นึกว่า
But
จะโดน
that
พี่
was
โกะ
him
อะ
versus
2 ตัว
Barco, the matchup I was talking about, and even still, it's desperately close. You still see like
แปด
that
นัด
utility
Rồi,
being
นัดเดียว
destroyed
โอ้
on
มัน
one
ใช้
side
เว
of
ลา
the
นาน
map.
ไปหน่อยหรอ
It's aggressive
มันเหลือนัดเดียว
double dive style of play that is so difficult to hold
แทนเพิ่งเริ่มข
against.
มวดคิวแล้วแต่เรายังยิ้มอยู่เลย
ไม่ค่อยปลื้มเท่าไหร่วันนี้
Liquid. Bravo, good job. Have got themselves a second round. As said, we watched the game earlier, and it was incredibly attack-sided, but as we've learned many a time, applying a single brush to every single team would be madness. Speaking of madness, this is so aggressive.
โอ้
มันเดินมายิงแบบชิวๆอย่างนี้เลย
เกมมันเล่นง่ายขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ
They are not playing like a team that's down
อื้อ
6-2,
หื
and that's
เกม
อ
มันเล่นง่ายขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ
เอาแล้วไง
the spike taken. Bane spotted, and he
เอาแล้วไง
to right in this corner. How many can he take with him?
มาแล้วไง
One, previous round, and they have skyrocketed to success now. But still, 6-3. They have
DRX
to
งง
lock
เลย
it
พวก
down
มันบ้าอะไรวะ
for
เนี่ย
this half.
I respect that
ส่ง
call.
อะไรมาทำไมมันถึ
We
งบีบ
talk
มาอยู่
about
ตรงนี้ได้หม
Nats
ดเลย
this year coming into his own as an IGL.
อันนี้คือหลังชนป่าเนี่ยดูสิถึงบ้านอ่ะ
Through your second round of the entire game, you yourself not having the best individual game. What do you call? Let's rush it down B. I respect it. Like, it's bold.
We talked about this in yesterday's series as well. This is what's important, being able to change it up, not play just one style. Have more than one hymn sheet to sing from, and then
อุ้ย
โอ้โหโหไม่เป็นคิโกะ
หมดเลยครับ อยู่ดีๆเผลอเอาจริงอะ
แล้วคนโฮมันเป็นลมสักบอย
โอ้ลมสักบอย
Team Liquid 6-4.
I'm sorry.
สังคม
So you call that twice in a row? Like it is still the majority of this defensive side. Like it was only that.
โอ้โหแต่ตัวสามแบบคมจ้าดอะตัวสามอะ
The rest of it, like this could be the replay of the last round. Like I would not be able to tell the difference.
ไม่ต้องตีแล้วเล่นแม่งหน้าบีเลย
I guess that's the only difference.
The only real difference is that like they went for the window push, so it was a much deeper aggression. Whereas this time they're in almost a Congo line, ready for the window peak, thinking DRX will think we give up that control. Let's fight for it now. They'll swing out and they'll get taken down by the firing squad. And instead, the firing squad wasn't needed because they had Kiko.
Do you reckon Turby's gone? And then we go A. Like just after the last two rounds, or he triples down. They're not going to do that three times on B.
They'll think we'll go A.
Exactly. Now it comes down to the mind games. But what a difference a few rounds can make. A 6-1 start, and then the last two, well, you blink and you miss it. Those are like 20-second rounds apiece. They sped up the game and brought it back to a closer field. The DRX is going to be fairly important now because this ends 6-6 off the start you had. It's going to feel devastating. Your direct hits really working. Flashback, by the way, has been nuts. Like, there's not a player in the server particularly close. There's definitely not a player on his own team. He is 9 kills ahead of anywhere else. But a lot of it's based off those setups. The setups have been fantastic, and I think that's why Liquid have decided, well, they can't set up if we fight them in their own spot.
แต่มีบอกเล่นสบายใจได้ส่งคนไปขโมยรองเท้านัดละ
They're going to run it down mid.
ขากลับเดินตีนเปล่าครับ
Same old strategy though. But I think it's a perfect counter to what DRX are doing. Like you said, it's all about the execute. The well-placed pieces of utility, the dry runs. Well, you can't dry run it.
แปลกๆลั่นจัด
Team
อะ
Liquid run it down at
แล้วมัน
you.
โอ้โหลิ
This
ควิ
is
ดมัน
going to be a 5-man push. Everybody, this is madness. Everyone on Team Liquid is pushing. Full aggression. A player up top drawing the eye. Kiko just needs
โอ้โห พอไหม
Bring down. Paranoia sent through. Ready to swing on the back as the rest of the team as Team
ดี
Liquid
ว่าไม่
เฮ้ย
ควรทะเลาะกันแบบมัน
DRX are in a
ๆ
เฮ้ยมันดันแบบมีศิลปะด้วยเนี่ยเห็นปะตอนมันออกอะ
มันทำมาแบบ Okay, they've lost a lot of players, but at least they should be able to find a plant.
And luckily for him, the man
เห็นแล้วนึกถึงเปเปอร์เล็กเลยชวนทะเลาะ
has been the hero for this DRX squad so far. Looking for a fight, but look
ไปแบ็กมาหาก่อน
Trex is on the other side. We've criticized him for over
Ui.
peeking,
Ow.
and this time he won't be caught.
อ้าว
Marco in a 1v4.
แม่นมาทั้งเกม
We've seen it once, but not
แม่นมา
this
ทั้งเก
time.
ม
It
แม่นมาทั้งเกม
was a fifth round for Liquid. A rush B, a
เหมือน
rush
ตกใจ
B, a
มัน
rush
เดิน
B.
ก่อนแล้วก็ยิง
One
อะ
of the most
เวลาจังหวะเรา
unorthodox
เอมเนี่ยแล้ว
defensive
คนไม่เดิน
sides
พอดี
I've ever
แม่งแบบ
seen.
เนี่ยเมื่อกี้
เป็นแบบนี้ตลอด
จังหวะเมื่อกี้เลยน่ะ
Tell you what, Tom, when they put this map back in the pool,
Holy
I said I
crap.
wasn't a big fan of it.
That's an understatement and a half. You have complained about it for the last few weeks.
I'm trying to censor my opinions a little bit, but I'm starting to become a fan of it. Is this how you're supposed to play? I'm taking this
Well,
direct.
this is deathmatch.
This is literally
โอ้โห
run
สี่
it
ราวติดเล
down.
ย
Now we see a more
แม่งภาพ
conventional
ภาพ
approach.
ไอ้นี่มาเลยอะภาพ
You
ตอน
never
ส
know
มัย
if the
นู้นอะ
barrier goes up. There's
ที่
gonna
มัน
be
เดิน
an
ยิง
offense
เดิน
played
ยิง
from
อะ
Trex.
อันนี้เลยอะ
Odin.
แต่นี้มัน
So I'm not
มี
sure
ส
what
กิล
where I was
มี
going with
จังหวะ
the
มีความ
conventional
เป๊ะเข้ามา
But a little bit of A main aggression.
ไม่มั่ว
Not
นะ
the
ทำมา
whole
เนี่ย
team, but a flash and a deep peek expected.
ท่านี้ไม่เจอ2 รอบ
Very
แล้ว
deep peek. Early TP. I had a mini heart attack for a
Hey,
second.
he has updraft. He has
But he has his updraft. Okay. Convergence path used into the B side. Back to that execute heavy style, but it is much more of a retake setup this time for Liquid. They've been caught out on these openers every single time, so they've
Hey,
avoided
back
it
right on it,
completely
คือ
this
ดัน
time.
สู้เลย
Yeah.
conceding the space, letting them burn utility, avoiding the fights until it's on favorable ground. Now the rest of the squad comes through to join the fight. Pannysgg, the first to draw blood.
What?
Going to fall.
โม่
เก็บปืนมาดิ
ต่อให้เก็บปืนก่อนด้วยน่ะ
We don't have the Hunter's Fury online for Bane, but one away. If he can find a pick, this gives them a huge chance in the round to recover. But it's a 3 versus 5. They need to be firing on all cylinders already. The reveal lands onto Mako. He's got support though. It's Frank. Camo's there to greet him. And Bane, the last man standing under heavy pressure. The defuse already underway. He's got a swing, and there's 2 players to greet him.
หมดแล้ววะ DRX เมาหมัดแล้ววะก็เลยโดนชาร์จไปเมาหมัดแล้ว
Absolute crazy recovery coming out from Liquid. 6-1 down, 6-6 on the half. It is all to play for. We'll be back after the break.
แล้วเมื่อกี้ไม่มีผ่ามเข้าด้วยนะปกติแล้วก็รอมีดเช็คตรงข้างหลังก่อนแล้วค่อยเล่นดันเข้ามาครึ่งหนึ่งก่อนค่อยๆแบบค่อยๆรวบ
ทำมา
ที่มันรีเทคแบบไม่มั่วซั่วเปิดตีปุ๊บยึดทิ้งไซด์ก่อนรอมีดเคลียร์ครึ่งหนึ่งแล้วก็รวบข้างนอกแทนบ้าจัด
อันนี้ถือว่าอยู่ในแมปพูที่สตอของหรือคือแต่ดูจากการเล่นอ่ะมันเป๊ะอยู่นะตอนที่มันดันไม่มั่วนะรีเทคก็มีสเต็ปมีจังหวะหมด
หน้า A แค่ยังไม่เจอเฉยถ้าหน้า A ผมพยายามทำ2-3 รอบแล้ว
Well, this was swings and roundabouts, really. One side, DRX dominant to begin, and then Team Liquid climbing back into it as we get into our Coinbase econ report. You can see our highlight here, Camo. He certainly stepped up towards the end of the first half.
He didn't like Marco, it seems. It did a lot of damage to him, and no surprise that versus Flashback it's not gone too well. But yeah, realistically, this game has been madness. Like, if you split this up, literally down the middle, it looks like 2 completely different games. DRX dominated with their early executions, and then you saw the adaptation from Liquid of just, okay, we're not going to let you execute, we're just going to run it down, and immediately see the game completely flip with what was an excessive amount of kills from Flashback at the beginning. He's now only
มั
one
นไม่
ahead
เชื่อ
of
ใจ
Mako.
ว่ะจริง
It
นะ
was actually one of the players like coming into the match, I was going, I don't know if this guy's going to be
คือ
able to
ไล
match
น์อัพ
up.
ในชุด
Well, I
เนี่ย
was thinking
ผม
more
ว่า
so
มัน
versus
เก่งมาก
Hyunmin,
นะ
but he has. He's been insane in these last 5 rounds.
ขยันหาเปลี่ยนจนผู้
At
เล่นมันแบบว่า
6-6, we said it is anyone's map to
ได้เล่นด้วย
take,
กันต่อเลย
but this is DRX's pick, so you kind of feel like they're the ones that need to take it now on the defense.
แม่ง
Well, at the halftime, the crowd was certainly with Liquid. The energy up, the chant was going for the majority of it, but it's silence in the crowd as they wait now to see how this will play out. Camo diving deep, but unlike Hyunmin, he doesn't have the ability to fall back without refract. Space taken is committed to.
โอ้ยแผ่น
The
นี้
B
เนี่ย
side
เจ
will be
จี
overrun
โดนนะ
nonetheless. DRX and many players nearby.
Smoky
Flank coming through with the deep A main push already from
Ui.
Frank. He's got the same thing from Nats as he moves around mid. Hyunmin's there to greet him. And now they can just pause a moment for the retake, but they see DRX are spotting this aggression from Team Liquid. They need space on this attacking side, and so it's straight into the spawn they go. Mako there to greet them, and the right click is kind to begin. Shock Dart is going to drop Bane, though, and make this a little bit more difficult, but still, the advantage with the defenders.
หมดเลยครับ
And Kiko shut out.
This is where DRX historically
เหนียวจัดอะ
always done their best work, those retake setups. I like how patient they were. A lot of the time you're going to see players get itchy feet, get a little bit over aggressive, want to take the fight on their own. you see the sort of intelligence of Marco at that back position. He waits for the box, gets a burst, falls back. It's like, okay, you want to fight me? You've got to swing me. I'm not going to give you that fight once again. And even Bane, okay, he goes down, but he doesn't want to give away anything. They're just waiting for that flank, patient and controlled. And after what was a pretty nasty streak from Liquid, that's the return DRX were looking for.
Yeah, Mako even getting revenge onto Camo for that first half with his opening pick, but from that
เพื่อนยิงแน็กไม่ยิงชิบหายละตอนนี้ แปลกมาก
You got to think about it. The last 5 rounds, 6 rounds or so, they've cooled down. Players feeling like their shots aren't landing because, well, they weren't. But that pistol and a follow-up, that's going to give them the ability to build that momentum right back up.
Has Trex got a hero stinger?
Yes, he does.
He had a hero stinger. It's already gone. And I guess an attempt to do some damage, and that attempt's not going great. It's fallen into the hands of Nats, and he's going to meet the same fate. Flashback, back to winning ways, 17 and 10. Come on, it is the conversion, but this is, at least nowadays, this is about as much of a bonus as you're ever going to see. It is mostly SMG snipers and only a singular rifle, maybe an extra one purchased up, but not much to play with whatsoever for the side of DRX in this round.
Not bad work. Flashback too. You mentioned it. He was close to triple the kills. The next player on his team early in that first half. That cooled down. He ended in roughly that position. Those 3 certainly help him out. It's all about that return to
ดีนั้น
momentum.
ไลน์อัพไม่มาเป็น
For
เบน
DRX,
เอเทล่า
Team Liquid now they've got to find their footing.
โอ้โห
Rifles come out. This
ปลา
is
ก่
their
อน
round. Advantage in almost every fight that they
พูดได้คำเดียวว่า no
Should be
picture
Got tagged quite low early on.
a stinger.
He's got to be very careful. Flashback, just popping flashes through as the team look to try and get in. Marco's managed to find one, but it's Kiko stepping up. They've still got to be careful. As said, this is as about a pure bonus as you're ever going to see. These are low-value weapons, and the more cost that this causes, the more rebuys that are needed, and it's definitely starting to get a little bit shaky. Panic there to seal the deal, but
เลือดเต็ม
only 2 standing.
ประสบการณ์เหลือๆเฮ้ย
He just picked up a stinger.
เฮ้ยแล้วมึงไปหยิบอะไรมาเนี่ย
เอ้า
A little oopsie at the end.
Yeah, but that's gone from now 2 rifles being saved to 1 rifle being saved and a stinger.
So this is the thing. We've seen this gradual shift.
รัวจัด
Having these 3rd rounds be actually very
ขอ
strong.
ดูเรีแอคชั่นหน่อยครับ
Like at least 2 to 3 rifles
Did he
coming
drop
in.
a phantom? Was he just looking for a better skin? Heart attack, man. Oh no.
And you know the best part is he still has a rifle.
คาโมบอกโอเคกูเอง
แล้วคาโมบอกแล้วมันเป็นกู
Hey bro, I got gum for you. I
มัน
got
ไป
gum
เอา
for you,
ส
bro.
ติงเจอร์มาโอ้ my
Swap real
god
quick. There you go. Stinger given over.
โอ้แล้ว
อยากได้สกินไง
But for Team Liquid,
ต้องใช่อยากได้สกิน
แล้วเกมนี้คาโมเข้าไปตายฟรีโคตรบ่อย
but even up against those weaker weapons,
แล้ววันนี้มาแบบ
being so close is scary. Camo's got diving. Stinger in hand. Paranoia sent through, but it finds nothing, and now flashback onto Trex. This is becoming difficult for DRX. They've got full control. Well, what if Team Liquid got to respond? 1 by 1.
Yeah. They are walking into the trap. They are walking into the players, and it felt like at least with Camo diving in, there wasn't a lot of follow-up behind it. Maybe hoping somebody would give them a gap elsewhere, but it hasn't happened. And now with Nats and Kiko, the last 2 standing. Some would call them cats. But right now, they're meeting the claws of DRX.
Backside play from Mako. He's going to be the only one taking this fight. Kiko has a chance to isolate it, but it's Mako to take him down. Spike went off the map for a moment, but it's right back up there. Fortunately, I don't think it makes much of a difference to Nats. It's about as retrievable either way. Sitting in that laneway, he's locked out completely. And he knows now there's one coming behind on mid. I mean, at this point, the round is done. Saving the weapon is pretty much the only choice, especially as we've said before. Look at the ultimates on DRX. A few close. Players could have them for the next round. You just don't want them to build up, especially when what you're farming up is a neural theft. That's DRX 9-7, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a pause after how this round went down, especially with already the sting of the stinger being brought through.
Yeah. It's an odd one because I feel like they've been able to get themselves back into the game without too much help from the coaches so far. They did have the pause earlier, but I think they have a lot of faith in Nat's ability to IGL. He's definitely been having a terrible game individually, which at least in recent times is a rarity, but coming back in on a map
ใจเย็นนะครับน้องเมฆ
it normally does put the extra
เพราะ
pressure
แข่งกัน
on the
น่ะ
IGL.
3 แมปไม่ได้แมปเดียว
He started slow, but as DRX progressed, so did he individually as well. But it is going to be that timeout taken. It's in a spot though where ultimately you're not expecting much for this round for Liquid, because the economy just isn't going to be there.
I think this is all about nurturing the mental, honestly, Tom. Like, we look at two things. One, it's, I imagine, not going to have been looked on in a very nice light that you're swapping skins and ending up with a downgrade. That's already going to stink.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
When they play on the tournament climb, they get all the skins, right?
Yeah.
Why is he not just using that skin?
Well, I assume, guessing he picked it up off someone already or something like that. I don't know. But the thing is, you've got that, but I think more importantly, you then have how the round played out. You see Camo dive in, and there's utility to support him. But from that point, when he goes down, and hell, he only has a stinger, so probably he is going down. It then crumbles.
ตอนแรกใช้เอสเซล่าแบบดูเป็นโคเลฮะเอสเซล่าตอนหลังไม่ไหวแล้วครับหมดยุคจังแนทลืมพกฟอร์มมาด้วยเดี๋ยนี่ถ้าแนทยิงจบอ่ะเนี่ยแนทไม่ยิงนะ7-9งงเลยถ้าแนทโชว์จบแล้วนะ
Apply the learnings in the next round, because this one ain't got a lot to work with. At least Camo's given the upgrade, a sort of a payoff of his sacrifice in the previous round.
To be fair, you're going towards that Blade Storm. The other ultimates you might want, Pannysggg's going to have his, Trex has his, so it's the most logical player. But also, you go back to when they were winning those last few rounds of the previous half, it was a lot down to him individually. There you go, once again, Marco down.
แล้วโมเสครับเป็นคนเดียวที่มีของฮะเอา
เป็นเรื่องดีนี้
ช้อปปิ้งช็อป
เลยช็อปปืนเต็มไซส์เลย
Through the smoke, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Pure spammage in play. Flashback and Fring left with nothing to do, and well, I guess I misspoke. I said it's about time to apply the learnings in the next round. Why not start here? Well done, Lohan and Yao-Tseen.
แล้ววินแบบนี้แหละเขาเรียกว่าวินโมเมนตัม
It does also mean that I never want to see Camo taking the light gun again.
เซฟเลย
Getting the opener. I think just again like the
โม
usage of
อย่าเพิ่ง
that
เปลี่ยนปืน
slow
ได้ปะ
hasn't really
ปล่อยวิน
worked
เลย
out
ปืนนี้
กำลังมาเลยปล่อยวิน
because
หนึ่ง
of that.
เรียกปืนมาเก็บปืน
Did leave a little bit to be desired for Hyunmin. Like if you throw that and they're stunned, great. Maybe you take that 1v2, but you jumping into the site, it was a risk, and that risk didn't pay off.
I mean, the risk itself is also just to confirm, like, you've lost Mako, you don't have eyes on sight, you don't want to call for those rotations from B and find out it's a fake, so you dive in there to try to claim that information, same as on the attack side, and then he just refracts back out. The fact that he gets shot through the smoke like that is quite unlucky. As we get a MasterCard Thrifty from Team Liquid, that could bring them right back into the game. One round behind, and a great correction. The other thing I'll touch on is the fact that, obviously, Camo, sometimes he does have to take that lighter weapon, right? Because in this round, you ain't got anything but the Guardian. Sure, give it to him. But a lot of the time, you're going to be running this with a dive.
มันทำเสียงหรอ มึงไม่ทำเสียงนะ
Stinger, 30 meters behind you, supporting you. It's not going to do very well. We don't have that right-click bind anymore, so it's just one of those things.
You can't be twice in one game. Twice.
He knows. He knows. He knows I love him.
โมเมนตัมเลยรวยเลยนี่คืออะ
สแปมแม่นจัง
Flashback gone immediately. He's actually still going though. He's taken the angle. The spams aren't going to connect because he's already passed the box. I don't know if they're even going to realize that he doesn't connect. It's not worked out. Not the start they were looking for. And with Flashback gone, again, it leaves an opening on the back of this A site.
Yeah, he might have been able to get away if he hadn't been tagged down to 18 HP at the start of the round. The wall bangs here. I think every shot that hit him was through that box. Maybe he'll be a little more cautious of it in future. Pressure on for DRX.
จะเข้าเฉยๆจริงเหรอวะ
Hold towards this A side with two, but the info not quite there.
ไม่แน่อาจจะไม่ละเอียด
Already having to fill in that mid gap.
มีแทงก็1 คน
All eyes should be
โอ้
on
เอียง
this.
โทรมาเลยวะ
This is the spot.
อ้าว
Holds on too tightly.
หมดเลยครับ
They'll eventually fall, but the damage is done. Surely Trex tries so desperately to pull it back.
อุ้ย
มึงไม่สแปมไปเลยวะ
He's brought back in. Trex
ใจแข็งจัดในเบน
เฮ้ยยังอีกเหรอ
2 HP, but it's It's only Mako up against them. Both players low, and the spike still to be planted.
I've seen this one before. A 1v2 chance for Marco. Nats on the other side. This time he delivers a Trex is on just 2 HP. He's had an insane round so far, but needs a little bit more. 20 seconds left. Marco can just opt to play the time, but he will reposition to perfection.
หลอกอยู่นั่นน่ะ
And this time,
หลอกอยู่นั่นน่ะ
I mean, he was very close to getting it on the initial wallbang as well. Just a great read from Mako when re-entering into that site. How Trex found so much value. I mean, this round seemed won at this point.
Bait on Paddy.
So
Like,
beautiful.
he brings him back. And
ปีอิงเลยครับช็อตนี้
He was the one that ran through. It was Nats that ran through. And he just
he basically realized where Paddy got shot from.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's actually
คาโม
insane.
มาเจอกับ
Well,
มาโก้
luckily, Marco is there to win them the round. The start they were looking for. A lovely dart that goes around the back and makes sure there's no aggression this time. Of course, still economy for Liquid because of the fact that they won on a low buy. Otherwise, they would have been in danger here. They're trying to find a little bit of early spam, but there's still a cam behind them. All the information will be revealed before freeing, but it's when he wants to use it. I think he's waiting for the timing on them actually looking to move.
ไอ้ทะลุสโมกใช่ไหมตอนจุกใช่ปะมาได้ยินเสียงปืนก็ยิงตามเลยพวกเนี้ย
Danger ping
ข่าว
on
พี่
mid.
แนทก่อน
Reveal follows it up, confirm the space isn't taken, but they know that Nats was looking for space around there. Clearly expecting this A hit. Traps already on site. Camo bypassing him. He's up top. Plays
Ơi.
the spot of the player.
Ow.
Backside. Free
Ow.
gets the jump on him. Bane
เนียนเฉย
with one
เฉยเลยครับ
stepping up for the double, giving Team Liquid a chance to continue drawing breath. A 10 to 8, 3 versus 3, but it's Nats going
พี่แนท
walkabouts that gets punished.
ปีนขึ้นมาเสิร์ฟอะบอกเลยช็อตเนี้ย
And with the old pop from flashback, DRX have all the info.
Trex, I think he's starting to consider whether or not using that Hunter's Fury is worth it, but Kiko going down, it's not anymore.
ทำยังไงดีครับ
A fight or two.
โอมันยังอยู่ด้วยครับ
He had a chance to be the hero in a round prior, but lost the clutch to Marco. Now he sat versus 3, but the only thing really on his side is the time. Convergence
Ow.
use his walk back into it, and now he's in trouble. Shock Dart could go in, but there's not really anything else he can do other than try and spam
ตรงด้วยนะ
solid ult usage from DRX.
ถ้า
Their way up to
ถ้าไม่โดนสโลว์ได้
I also
ได้ลุ้น
got
อยู่
a
นะ
query. Was that a stuck from the shadows for Kiko, where he gets those 2 kills? I feel like it wasn't noticed. Yeah, it was. He TVs behind them. They're so busy dealing with camo. That's crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest of his utility belt didn't do him too well. Caught in no man's land, isolated by that ult that went through from flashback that got them all that space, got them all the information.
แนทจะรักไก่กันเมื่อกี้
A big contributor to the round, as he has been to this game for DRX. 11 to 8 now. A 3-round gap in the battle for the best on Abyss seems to be coming to a close. Team Liquid invest.
Do you remember the last half?
Was the
มัน
attack
ลิ
side
ควิด
too?
ตอนมาสเตอร์
But
แบ
it
ง
was
คอกเลย
also,
หรือเปล่า
it was also a very early
Thailand.
start for DRX. And then a comeback for Liquid. So I'm not going to count any chickens just yet. Hunter's Fury put through. Camo is completely blinded at the back of the site. And when he does finally
GG
escape the Hunter's Fury, he is
GG.
executed. Already 4 players in a fast rotation from DRX. They've been good at the retakes thus far, but this time they have no plans to retake. And they also have so
Ooh,
much
boom.
control on the other side of the map. Look at the push-up already from Marco. He's
เป็น
so
ไปไม่ได้ครับผม
on that A-side control that there's absolutely no way back.
ไม่น่า
This
เจ็
is
ด
the
แตก
problem,
ขอ
I
ง
think.
เยอร
Though.
มัน
Look at
ปา
how
รี
many
ส
rounds Camo goes diving in, lands, and goes, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah.
There's no one here. What do we do? And that's when DRX execute back out and take him down. They don't have the ability to punish like that when you're Team Liquid because you're playing against Hyunmin on the waylay. He's able to constantly get in, land, go, we've got the info, fall back, and then go, hey, what do we do
Yeah.
now? And that benefit is leagues above what is being brought to the table by Team Liquid here. And you need to see other ideas. And we're not really. Even there, when Camo goes down, seconds later, there's still 4 players in main. They're not able to actually do anything about it, and even saving seems to be an impossible task.
Don't
as
rule
they
up,
get run over by DRX, flattened in a flawless round, and 12 to 8, the score on the board. Match point for DRX on map number 1.
It's actually the fun thing about the composition for DRX is you're going to look at this composition and go, okay, they have one initiator. But if you look at the way they're playing it, it's almost like they have 5. Like you've got every single player in some way or another able to get
แย่
your
แล้วหัวแถว
information, be it based
โปรเจก
on
ต์หัวแถวกำลังจะแตก
ultimates, being based on abilities or your
Project
cam,
อะไรนะ
etc.
Project หัวแถว
And they're doing very well to find
หัว
that
แถว
out
พลิก
early,
เดียม
like, be it an aggressive flashback peek and TP, be it the same with Hyunmin, be it the same with
Guardian
Marco. Like they are constantly challenging for this control. And Liquid are yet to really find an answer. Nats is 2-11, by the way.
แข่ง3แมป
He
กลาง
has
ใจ
had
เย็นนะ
a really rough time. Since that 1v2 attempt from Marco in the previous half, that was the last time he got a kill.
I remember you said it was the first impact kill, and well, depending on how this goes, it may well be his last.
His only.
Of any, yeah, exactly. Of any kind. 4 rounds in a row needed for Liquid. And on this attack side, it has not been kind. This isn't like the first series of the day. It's a completely different flavor. Dive in from Camo. Does well to find one, but an immediate punish comes through. DRX, they are holding strong across the map. It doesn't matter which battleground they have to fight. Full control for the defensive side, and with 40 seconds left, the final threads fraying from the loom on Abyss.
Again, they look like they're running into a brick wall. One player will take the charge. This time, that one player fighting alone has actually managed to even up the score. Kiko's done well, but there are still 2 players waiting on the other side. Kiko has TP into his own smoke, just trying to garner a little bit of extra space. Hyunmin is well aware of it, though. And the other 2 players still trapped in main. They want to try and swing this together, and they will, but Marco's still here. 12 seconds left. They know where the remaining players are, but sticking this button is going to be difficult. Kiko had to body block it down. Nats is all that remains, and he remains no
เอาไป
more.
เม็ดเดียว
DRX are going to be there and back on the international
GG.
stage with a first map victory.
Well, Yao It's said.
Have, at least in the last few months, 5 matches of bind to watch of Team Liquid, so definite opportunities. This is the man I'm looking at, though. Because I don't think I've ever seen Nats have 2 maps that bad, ever. And this is his map.
This is the one.
Ui.
Recovery for Team Liquid. Hyunmin back to his old
Ui.
tricks.
Ui.
Back there alongside him, and Hyunmin with his 3rd kill of the round. His 2nd. DRX in a 5 versus 2. This has gone downhill very quickly. There's your stats powered by AWS. 24.6% of the time, Team Liquid are getting the spike defuse, and in a 2v5, I imagine that stat's even worse.
ใช่ละ
This is going to be
เจอละ
tough.
คนลืมมาฟอร์มมาเนี่ยนี่ควิดนี่แหละ
Try and break back into. It's mostly going to come down to mistakes, and I want to give credit in the last map as well to DRX. They weren't really making silly errors. They were looking like a well-oiled machine, and well, it is a flawless pistol round to kick things off. I believe that's 3 for 3 as well in terms of the pistols so far this game.
One of the things to look at
แล้ว
is
คู่ยาก
this B and A site when
พลิ
we
ก
get
เตรียม
back
มา
into
แล้ว
the
ไง
game, I challenge you
คู่
look
ที่
at
แบ
the
บ
map and think about the differences
แม่ง
between
ไม่น่า
Abyss
ผิด
and Abyss. On Abyss, it's a lot of open space. It's a lot of long laneways approaching a site. When you dive in, getting back out is so valuable. Here, Hyunmin has the ability to actually dive into corners, into crevices, and fight his way back out alongside his teammates. That's what we see here in the pistol, and I think that's what we're going to see in some of the future rounds as well, especially if it's combined with some flashes from the Yoru of Flashback. This is a very difficult composition to play against. Team Liquid certainly have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they're kind of unlucky that they are the team that's almost the guinea pig. They don't get to go into the next game and study what their opponents are doing. They've got to adapt on the fly. And well, a very aggressive start to this round. Camo's the only one that's really invested anything into it. A cheeky Bucky. Very, very passive hold from the side of DRX. You
คือ
can
ตอน
kind
แร
of
กจิน
understand
ตนา
why.
การ
This
ภา
time
พ
it's
แบ
a
บ
little bit different to the last buy we
มี
saw.
เอสเซอร่าอะไรเงี้ย
Their
ผม
bonus,
แม่ง
they
โด
were
น
going
แน่นอน
heavy on those SMGs, and sure they've got one, but a couple of pistols mean that they can afford casualties, but also in the next round, they'll be able to afford some extra rifles as well.
That's exactly it. Last time it was all about
โหมันรอบครอบจัด
They're
อะ
so ready for it.
a map with so much range. Now they can afford to have those weaknesses, if you want to even call them. That's certainly not in this fight. There's the Bucky. Finding one difficult to use when you're having to reclaim
เปิด
space,
เฟลแต่
but
ก็ไล่ได้
ได้อ
at
ยู่
least get off to a good start. Problem is, I don't think there's much to be upgraded there.
Spike planted.
Hookah might be able to grab something. Bane is not aware of him by the looks of things and comes to clear it and loses his life. Camo with another. This is now getting very dangerous. What's left is still Hyunmin. He has been huge. And Mako really heated up towards the end of the last map. It's Hyunmin to find one. The fallback now, create the space, force uncomfortable fights. It's a classic and a Bucky. All you gotta do is make sure you're far away, but Nats taking now Mako puts the pressure on Hyunmin. Defuse underway. Bucky guarding so hard and it's covered. Team Liquid in round number 2.
เป็นเรื่องเลยอย่างวะ
Don't know why you're looking at me like I can explain what I've just seen.
A Bucky and what, 4 classics? They didn't even have a sheriff, did they?
The thing is, okay, the Bucky is bad, but it's more so where the Bucky was. Like, it was playing in showers, and they planted in towards that A short position. Like, the fact that he's
เมื่อกี้เขาแค่ตลกอาวิธเฉยๆเอนเตอร์เทน
These are fights that you should never, ever, ever win with a Bucky or a classic. It makes no sense. And well, I guess I'm eating my words from the prior round about overextensions because I definitely felt like there were some silly mistakes. Early attempt at a response. Note that they didn't buy back in with those rifles. They've gone with some SMGs instead, keeping their economy good. Hopefully for the next round. But just look at what's on the other side. It is full rifles for Liquid. Huge boost to economy.
Oh yeah, I mean, losing the pistol, winning second is about as good as it can go, especially when you didn't even invest into the second. It wasn't a force fight. You
gotta win third.
This is
ไอ้
getting
สูตรนี้แม่ง
It's all about building that economy early for
ได้ผล
Liquid
เสม
and
อ
how
บอกเลย
strong they look. But hell, if you lose this round, we're right back to square one. Nice nade alongside a snake bite and a poison orb. It's a freebie on range. Trex is dominating.
เมื่อกี้แบบไอ้ตรงกลางไซด์ที่แผ่นอะเหมือนนิวเคลียร์ลงเหรอพี่
ทุกอย่างลงตรงนั้นหมดเลย
Nonetheless, it's better than they got on map 1.
I could already tell this game's gonna be hectic.
ถือว่าได้เสียในแท็กติกนี้
Rounds into bind and
สโมกต่อๆกันนะส
it's
ติงเกอร์
looking
ลงไปรูด
exciting. This is the sort of power of that double dive into the site. It just creates so many
กำลัง
awkward
เม้มๆอยู่
spots for players to try and fight within. But Trex again, he definitely had his moments. But the fact is, his multi-frag was necessary in this round. And now, well, this is where DRX finally have rifles of their own.
They're not afraid to let Liquid know. An immediate headshot from Flashback. Puts us into a 5v4. That was the orb claimed by Camo. He's got himself a showstopper for the next round. And this would be the exact round you wanted in. Good
แต่ถ้าเข้าฮู
early on
ก้า
from the
เนี่ยเป็น
attack
เรื่อง
side.
เลย
The push in towards
มีอยู่2ชิ้น
Hookah could be a little dangerous. Point of contact is going to be Trex, but he is baiting for Kiko in the corner. The problem is he goes down, so now they don't have to clear that right side. The Prowler comes in. That's Kiko shut down. DRX are walking their way into this site. Patatek, the only one standing in their way now. And a flash. Sure. He dodges it just about. And at least claims one more. It looks like an impossible position for Nats, who's coming off the back of a pretty rough start in the previous.
And this is where DRX have been tough to beat. Falling back, holding together.
เวเลมันไอ้นี่กันเหรอยากที่จะต้านทานจะเจอโดด
From DRX and after a costly round, it's going to put Liquid on the back burner here.
ผมจัดอะ
Trex gets so unlucky. I think if he can actually fall back inside Hookah, there's a good chance. Combining with Patatek down on site, they've got the flashes for the re-clears after the initial fight, or the support on a re-swing. But him going down, it just makes it impossible. The extra Prowler instead of going right, goes left, catches Kiko. And the pieces of the puzzle start to come together for DRX. Now Showstopper we mentioned for Camo, but again, then look at the round we're in. It being online so early,
they've got a Bucky, what do you mean?
Oh, good point actually, I didn't think of that. They don't have a rifle anymore. That's going to have to be retrieved. But on the other side as well, if anything goes wrong, DRX have got 2 big ultimates to get them right back into the game.
I'd be surprised if they need them.
They shouldn't.
But it really does feel like, especially going back to the last map and this one, it feels like they've maybe just spent the entirety of that extra break they had just aim training. Like everybody is looking so crisp on the DRX side. Flashback on that duelist has been impressive. Hyunmin still firing, and at least in this map so far, there hasn't really looked like a weakness. Already going to spot the player on site.
โคตรโกงอ่ะ
Kiko has been able to at least retrieve that singular rifle, but
เวเลก็
waiting for him
โย
to
รู้
make
ก็ปวด
that
หัว
move.
จะแย่อยู่แหละเจอเวเลโอ้โห
Again, we see that other layer. We've seen Hyunmin dive in,
Oh,
take
my.
space. This time dives in, takes info, falls back, and it's his teammates to execute on the back of that information. Kiko's being very patient. Not swinging out, and it's a good thing
ไปกันห
too.
นึ่ง
Wraps back around to meet up with Trex, finds flashback. It's a good start, but still, that bookie on Trex, he needs something else. And in fact, up close, he might have a chance of punishing Hyunmin. They've heard the bookie fire. Hyunmin's down to
มี
30.
ล็อกไอ้
Trex
เป็นเรื่องเล
ส่ง
ย
ไม่ดีเลยวะ
this round
ปืนไม่
already done. I guess the question was, could he get any more? And the answers are resounding no. 3-2. DRX
ไม่
right
มี
back in
อ่ะ
the
เซ
lead.
ต้า
And they keep both of
คุณ
those
มีมัน
ults
เดือด
more
มาก
importantly. It's
เก
only
ม
a singular
ต
player.
อนนี้
It's just a straight
คุณมี
spam
แฟลชแบ็ค
through.
โคตรเยอะ
Angles known and then patience. Similarly to the last map on the
ไม่หนุก
defensive side.
ไม่หวือหวาแต่ชัวร์
ไม่ดีเลย
เออ
And
โคตร
aggression.
ทีม
But it seems like this squad led by Marco have been very comfortable in just sitting back, taking those individual fights. This is where we wait to see if there's a response. Now, something that Liquid love to do is this deep smoke, deep flash, pressure down. And that's what they look to do again.
เฮ้ย
DRX are ready for it, but the showstopper causes issues. The flash is
โอ้
perfect.
โห
And
คล้ายๆแบบที่แล้ว
ท่าเดียวกับเปเปอร์เล็กเลยแบบ
And we saw
แฟน
this
วัน
on
สอง
the
ลูก
previous
แล้วก็
map as well. Sometimes they just want to take the fight to you. Defensive
ท่า
side.
นี้โดน
but
ทีเผลอ
กันที่ดีที่สุดคือบุกครับ
I'll be honest, if you've ever watched Liquid play this map, you've seen that strat. They absolutely adore it. The second you see that smoke going down deep, you
ลิควิด
have to be
ลิควิด
wary.
เล่น
A lot of
เล่นเร็วได้
teams
ซิ่ง
will
ได้
play
เพล
behind
เยอร์
that
อำนวย
box all the way back deep
คาโมซิ่งอะไร
just to
โก
have
ก็
a
ซิ่ง
safe spot, but they did not do that. You could see how blind the players were on the other side, and even escaping wasn't really an
หลบยัง
option.
ไงวะแบบยิงดิ
A
ซี่
set
ก็โดน
play
แฟนส
that's
กาย
successful.
หลบแฟนสกายก็
In
โดน
fact,
ดิ
they're
ซี่
going to take early space on that side of the map
คอม
again.
คอมโบไอ้
As
เนี่
you
ย
can see, DRX immediately is like,
การั
"No,
น
you
ตี
know
อะ
what? I don't want that heat. We're going elsewhere."
And the importance
เหมือน
as
เล
well
น่า
of
ส
the
กาย
showstopper
เลน่า
and the second flash
Gecko
on
อะ
Trex, because the first flash it catches
แต่
one
เก
or
โค
two.
นี่คือหันหลั
There's
ง
still
ก็โด
two
น
players ready to fight, but as soon as showstopper pops, everyone's looking to face. They realize we can't fall back, we have to fight, and that's when the Gecko flash wins them the round. Great utility coming out of Team Liquid, but DRX now still with rifles, still with those big ultimates, one away from Bring having the Viper's Pit, and it's going to be orbital strike immediately,
Single,
covering off
yeah.
that backside of Lamps as they go in to clear it. Plant can now be secured. Spams through the smoke, always going to be dangerous. Trax finding that extra information and clearing out all this space, but when they see so many of the players from Team Liquid flooding into the A site,
ให้เมตรเดียวครับ
the TP is
โอ้โห
taken,
ไหลว่ะ
and DRX go all the way out to the B site. Easy plans. That's a great adjustment, thinking on their feet.
Yeah, and look at the ults they have as well. Convergence path can completely stun up the players. That's immediately going to be used, in fact.
ไม่เอาเลยเหรอ
That's 3 players that
Break,
are just
เอาดี
stuck
กว่า
in the spawn. The
หรื
nade
อว่า
has
แบบ
been
วัน
used
ไปวัน
just
แล้ว
to
จะกระ
try
โดด
and
มา
quell any aggression, but DRX have no interest. Oh, we got a 5v4. We don't need to take the risk. Zeke's used on the other side to garner that extra little bit of space, but now the Viper's Pit hits
Oh,
onto
yeah.
the spike. This is a losing battle, or so
Hey.
it seems.
Ow.
Liquid
อะไรวะ
somehow
น่ะเดิน
striking
ช็อป
back.
เพลินๆเลย
Pannysgg with an
Oh,
immediate
Ronette.
double
Huh?
and a spray through onto Bane, leaves one. Freeing. He should be able to deny the first. Needs to at least try and has done so. But Nats is there in
หันมา
response.
เดี๋ยวนะมันรีเทคกัน
Time-wise, there will be
มันใช้อะไรรีเทคอะ
ไอ้ไกดิ้งไรอ่ะ
Oh, just about enough. But a fantastic retake from Liquid. As said,
ต้องติดส
conversion
กาย
เชื่อ
อะ
ป่ะ
Viper's
ราวนี้นี่แบบพอ
and
กลางไปไม่ผิด
somehow
ผม
they
คิด
make
ว่า
their
ผิด
way
โดน
back
ละ
in.
นึกว่าจบแล้ว
I thought that was perfect play from DRX, to be honest. Hyunmin putting the ult down
Hey,
and
Tick,
very
wing
reminiscent
the-
of the Visal,
Oh.
buying them time.
They were under a second off.
Yeah, 0.7. But that spam from Nats, and then the invasion of the pit. That's what makes the difference. Team Liquid take the lead 4-3 now. And for DRX, it's a costly loss. As we get back into the game, you'll see the economy there. It's not looking
Yeah,
pretty.
แม่งบุก
They're going to have to
โคตร
take
โห
a
ดเลย
light buy. And unless there's a miracle on their side, that's a 2-round lead for Liquid. What a back and forth game this has been. We'll see if momentum and fate will finally choose a side.
I don't think so. From everything we've seen so far in this match.
Game of tennis.
It seems like we're going to spend the whole game on juice.
แล้วมาเล่นทางสายไทย
Only
นี่
a
แทน
final advantage will be found at the end.
มาเล่นฝั่งนี้แทน
Again, the stinger has been a real irritation for Liquid. Name will do some damage onto Marco, but he will be able to escape. Post plant with a Molotov. A siege as well. Snake fight. Like they've got some post plant utility to play with here. They don't, however, have guns.
Yeah, with the pistols, you think you even want to put that Viper's pit in. It's usually not the play. Baiting out that utility already. You can see Grim Molly goes over.
Hey.
So much time and it doesn't matter. They're doing it.
หมดเลยครับ เนี่ยเวลาอีโคก็ไม่ควรปล่อยให้วางแล้วคนเขาเหลือครบอ่ะมันยากนะ
You're saying something about choosing a side and finally building back in.
มันดันไปปล่อยแบบปล่อยหมดเลยอ่ะ
I think it was immediate 1-2 punch. I think even they're surprised as to what's just happened. Yeah.
I was looking at the utility belt for a second. Oh, they've also got never mind. Everyone's dead. That's incredible.
Wow, Liquid are going to take themselves a pause. You can understand why they win a close round. Immediately just get decimated by pistols. Unable to really
ก็ไม่ควรรีเทคแบบฟูมันรีเทคเจออีโคมมีเหตุการณ์ไม่คาดฝัน
the end of the first half.
ไม่น่าปล่อยอยู่พอขนาดนั้น
Where they brought it back to 6-6. It wasn't even them taking a lead. It was just that was the streak, and then every time DRX have had some form of combo breaker. As we said, it looked like the build up to that round was all about post plants. How are they going to have a sweaty setup? No, they just headshot everybody. It's as I said, I think they've just been practicing their aim for the last month. That's what it looks like.
I think you might have hit the nail on the head there, Tom.
Give me the deathmatch routine. That's all I'm going to say.
Drop it right now. DRX should have been 5-3 down. They really should have. And running through a smoke against any weapon, it's always dangerous, but you don't expect them to just pop off like that.
Yeah.
Every shot landing, every sheriff finding its mark, and an immediate Viper's pit going to come through here from Team Liquid. You can already see it being set up. Prowler forces Nats back, but no one's there to take the space.
This does make me a little bit nervous. I'm looking at Nightfall. Jungmin's ability to basically get over the pit. That's why they have a player in the backlines in camo. He's going to be watching to almost try and defend off his teammate from behind, but
ไม่เข็ดเลยนะ
there's a lot that can be utilized. And Trex, again, he's played this somewhat off angle before, but they have been ready and waiting. And I like the fact this time he's falling back. We've seen him challenge this before, and it has not really worked out.
Going back to the A site, you know, it's still an option, but you really got to be going through bathroom if that's the play. And DRX are leaving that door open by moving towards B long.
เอาละ
They
ท้าย
need
กล
too
ครับ
much resistance, but 45 seconds left. Dash comes in, refract online, first player spotted, stunned as well. Now they can try to close in that distance. That's exactly what they're doing. Trex under so much pressure.
เอาป่ะ
pannysgg tried to help him out, but he ends up
แม่ง
falling.
ยืดหยุ่นกันไปว่ะไอ้2ดูเอลเนี่ย
They're pushing into this site, but
Oh.
he goes falling for the decoy. Everything going the way of the attacking side. Since they pulled those sheriffs out of the last. And Team Liquid, yeah, the snake bites landed a little bit of damage. Great. But it's time to save these weapons. No contest. It's 5 for DRX.
Nothing that can really be done at this stage. And a solid use of, I believe it was the saturate, right? That bounced off the back and just left Trex in an awkward position. You can understand pannysgg's response. Okay, I want to swing. I want to try and help my teammate out, but it just didn't go to plan. And from then onwards, it just seemed like the second they have even the slightest of opening, this composition just allows DRX to just steamroll into the site.
Just there when we were on POV of Nats, actually, I was watching the entire time that they've been saving. He has been rattling off words. I don't know what's being said, but big changes for Team Liquid. A lot of holes in the ship right now. A lot of wooden planks needed. Because the thing is, you say about DRX, they're hitting their shots, they won the round with the pistols, but here, Team Liquid aren't. Right, Trex obviously, I can look at his position. He's trapped in a tiny corner. The stun just about fading. But Paddy caught in this transitional period between taking the fight and falling back. It's an easy pick. And we can't see it be fed to DRX like this. 2 rounds in a row and a chance for an 8-4 half. With how these rounds are going, with where the economy's at for Liquid, it should at least be a lead for DRX in the end. With ults online for the next, mainly looking at Mako, he should have that orbital strike. And no one's close on Team Liquid. Oh, I thought that's an info dive.
เนี่ยโดนจีบเป้าเลยดิโมซั่วหมดเลย
He's sticking it for now. He is going to try and
แล้วก็
go back.
เพื่อน
And
ตาย
there isn't really anybody that can punish from this angle. It's a solid start though. Nats now goes down. But bear in mind there were some severe weaknesses, and now Camo's coming in from behind. He could just end this round, but it's whiffy. It's really whiffy. Luckily, he's got Kiko to back him up, and Trex has managed to find one with a ghost. It doesn't end up going well for Liquid, but it very nearly did.
ไอโม่
ไอโม่นะ ยิงหลังมันยิงยากเหรอเป้าไม่เห็นสับ
That's not the case. Might be the most egregious example that we've ever seen.
ดีนะหลุมสักบอยเดินมาด้วย
มาคนเดียวนี่เป็นเรื่องอะนะ
Nonetheless, the rest of the team was able to pick up his mess, I'll say. And we may still see a neck-and-neck half. The game of Deuce
แม็ก
continues.
ไม่ยิงทุกอย่างใช้
But what a
ขอ
chaotic
ลิควิด
set of
จะเป็น
rounds
หัว
we
แถว
have.
เนี่ย
The ult popped it was
ลิควิด
full
มาวันนี้นะ
focus from them, but the reaction from Hyun Min finding one, the 180 as a bullet whizzes
เย้
past
มัน
him.
ไม่นี่แหละพอสโมกลองเห็นนะแม่งเล่นเซ
I
ฟเลย
think you
กลัวดิมันโดนมันละทีนึง
Close
เดียว
here, we saw
Close here,
Madison
Close map เลยอะ
shows the chaos of the comp though. Like he's having to full 180 to shoot out
สยองเลย
the
โดนไป
horns
ทีนึง
and then turn back in time to be able to shoot flashback, and he did that. Fair play to him. Like his reactions were impressive, but they are making what is normally his home turf an awkward place to play. And we'll see if he can do it in
Ui.
that
Phải
second
lươn.
half. There we go. Finally, there's been a missed shot on the
Phải
other
lươn.
side of
ไม่อยากจะ
things.
เชื่อ
Camo
สายตาเลยว่าจะมี
gets a
เห
little
ตุการ
bit
ณ์
of
แบบนี้เกิด
revenge.
ขึ้น
Poetic justice, you could say. However, there's always a response, and that was incredibly clean from freeing Nats. I don't even know if his head was fully showing.
Well, it was found on the other side nonetheless. That was redemption for Camo to start, but Nats, same old thing. This time less utility involved. It's just the straight up duel that he loses. For DRX, that's a equalization in terms of numbers. It makes his A site much more vulnerable. Only now Trex is swinging out to try to clear that position on short, and I think he's seen some of them. Camo now turns to fight those players, and that's
อ้าว
when Fring is going to be striking. Oh, doing damage as Hyun Min finishes them off, but Kiko does well to at least find himself too.
Amazing trade
Onto Bane.
Amazing กัน Amazing
Spike
PC
down, 15 seconds. That plant needs to be secured
Amazing
now.
retake
Flash over the top. Second comes out from Sky. This is forced Bane
Ah.
into an awkward position, or maybe not. Trex has gone for the fight, and this time Bane again. He's just gonna stick it out. Oh, eventually gets caught by the wingman.
วิ่งแมน
แล้ววิงแมนแม่งแบบ
Ages ago.
ยัง
He must
แล้ว
have
มัน
been
หา
running
วิ่งไปไหน
around
มา
for a
วะ
few
วิ่งแมน
seconds. I think he was just about to run
Net
out.
show like
and he
amazing
caught a
wingman.
walk-on. He found
nice
the
วิงแมน
How has that happened? Like,
ดูหน้า
hit
เบ
the
น
shot
ดิ
on the
do we
head.
หัว
have
เสีย
a
เลยโดนวิงแมน
wingman
ตบกระ
POV?
บาล
Is that an option? Because
I'm not sure.
like, Trex
แต่
has
ของดี
hit
ก่อน
for
ตายว่ะ
ages.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. 6-5 for Team Liquid, and MVP
Wing
in this
ไปไหน
round
วะ
may well be that
จริงกำแพ
wingman.
ง
There he goes, running it down.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Bane
I feel
can't
bad
block
for
his
Bane.
shot.
I feel bad for him. Like, he did so well in that clutch.
You know the problem there? Crosshair placement. He's trying to headshot the wingman.
จะลองโดนวิงแมนสตัน
โดนวิงแมนตบ
Is that what happens when someone tries to...
เสียทรงเลย
Anyway, into the
เอาอีกแล้วเอาอีกแล้ว
a low weapon or two and an immediate usage
Wing
of
ตาม
that
ไปนี่เลย
orbital strike, a pacey hit, and well, it's got right past spotted the
โอ้โห
players, one of them already being stunned
กำลังดู
up, and the fight back, Bane
เฮีย
for
ฮุกก้า
Bane.
ยิงไม่ตายเฉยเลย
Find a double. Freeing in position, they need to clear him, and they have. Gives them a chance.
Oh! Mako and Bane are so low. Nightfall goes through. Both players spotted up there. Info to play with, but Hyun Min, the man with the weight of the world on his shoulders now, his teammates have forced into a fight. The odds aren't looking to be in their favor. But time is ticking, waiting for the Nightfall to fade. The flash out sees no one. Close left clear, worried about long. Nats finding Mako, but it's Hyun Min finding himself the first, and Bane to swing deep.
อันตีมันเยอะจังวะ
Neck and neck at the halftime.
A really impressive response once again.
เป็นบอก
And
เรา
an
นี่ยิ้ม
incredible
ได้เลยครับ
half of Valorant 6-6 as we stick it out. And honestly,
นี่ช็อต
the
ผม
way
นึกว่า
this
จะได้
game is going,
หนุ่ม
it is
สัก
looking like it's going to be
ต้องได้นะ
potentially, Mitch, one of the all-time greats.
Certainly one hell of a start here on Bind. We've seen some long games, and if it keeps up, well, we might be adding this one indeed. You talked about the bounce back of Nats as well, and he has certainly looked good. But Tom, I've had enough of hearing from
มูฟมันดีอยู่นะไอ้
I
มิน
want
มิ
to
น
go down to the main man who was up here
Vous
earlier.
l'aurez
Durga
condamné.
is standing by with me.
Et ai-je vraiment besoin de présenter la légende de Vitality, Derke, qui m'a rejoint? Hi Derke, welcome to Paris. It's a pleasure to welcome you here on Vitality's home soil. Thank you for being there. First of all, I think the fans appreciated you coming here, even though you're not playing. How does it feel, having people cheering for you everywhere you go?
Feels amazing. We have a lot of fans here, and even though we didn't play here, I think we got still a lot of support. A lot of fans come in asking for pictures, signature, and stuff. So it's like really nice. Merci les gars.
Merci les gars. And I think everyone is happy to hear this. Donc qu'est-ce que ça fait finalement d'avoir des fans qui viennent te voir, qui viennent te soutenir ici, même quand tu ne joues pas, et forcément leur soutien me va droit au cœur. Ça fait très plaisir. On espéra aussi faire mieux. Merci les gars, comme il le dit si bien. Second question about this match. I was wondering, are we rooting, EMEA, or is there any player in DRX that you want to see winning?
I mean, always kind of for EMEA. I want them to succeed
เดี๋ยวบอก
anyways.
วันนี้ผมก็มาให้กำลังใจน้องเทคนะครับวันนี้มีปากเสียงกันหน่อยใน Twitter ก็
So you would say Liquid still?
อ๋อผมก็ดักอยู่หน้างานครับ
Okay, rooting for Team Liquid. Du
Les
coup,
deux,
qui est-ce
hop.
que tu soutiens entre Team Liquid et DRX? On est toujours du côté de l'EMEA, donc on soutient l'EMEA. Thank you very much. Merci, Derke. And let's see if Team Liquid can take the win. Let's get back to the game.
อยากได้เสื้อไอ้พวกคอลเลกชันพวกเนี้ย
Well, it's good to see one of my favorite co-casters down there in the
Matteo.
crowd. We had fun earlier, and his predictions came through. He was talking a big game about Hyun Min, and that man has certainly delivered here today. I mean, just a stellar performance from him. But there's been plenty of heroes down on the server as we get into the Coinbase Econ report at halftime.
Yeah, for sure. It is looking maybe the most even you're ever going to see it. It's crazy as well that you think about how Hyun-min has been playing, and Nats is yet to damage him. He's just been flying over the top and is unable to really catch the man. It's like trying to catch smoke. He just disappears every time you get close. Even still, though, level at the half. And this is the map, this is the half.
ไม่ได้ซื้อที่งาน
This man
น่าจะแพง
the best in the world. Like, I don't think there's many arguments to be had in that respect. His positioning, especially towards that A side of the map, has always been problematic. But as said, the preparation we've seen from DRX going into this game, the difficulty they've caused with this comp, I am very intrigued to see if they can finally beat Nats.
Oh, he certainly had a good bounce back as we saw there in the
Sing there.
stats from the previous map where he was being shut
Sing.
down at every turn. Couple of rough openings, but
โอ้
the
โห
most
แพ้
part,
ของ
this has been
Keep
night
it.
and day. Deep play
โคตรเดือด
from Team Liquid.
ใครอยู่ใน
Not
ไซด์นี่
afraid to get
เดดแมน
aggressive,
บอก
but
เลย
the whole site's already cleared out. They're starting to get an inkling.
โอ้โห
DRX were doing something. There's no reason to leave A this
อยู่ดี
open.
ก็กลายเป็นรีเท
So
ค
they
ไปเลย
expect the flank to be coming through. In
From
fact,
Wee.
Nats expects the flank to be coming through. In goes the snake
แต่
bite.
ทำไมชอบกระโดดกัน
Push up.
Ow.
He goes watching his back. Team Liquid. A
เรียบร้อย
double opening. A 5 versus 3. They know that Mako's here as
Hey,
well.
Cody.
Oh, but Nats has been tagged extremely
Ow.
low. It's an easy
นั่น
cleanup.
บอกไอ้ยโทษทีไม่ได้ซ้อมยิง
The
ปืนนะ
time
วั
is
นนี้
ticking.
Yeah, there's so much left to do. Not much left to do it with.
โอ้โหโคตรยากอ่ะ
Players and lamps are going to cause serious issues, and at this point, it's all about orbs. The clock is far too
ปล่อย
low
เลยแล้วกัน
already, and Marco, well, he's going to at least clean up a few, do a little bit of extra damage.
ไม่ดีนะ
เคลียร์ไม่หมดอ่ะมันอยู่หลายจุด
It
เกิน
will
อะ
be Liquid taking their first pistol round of
ไปแจก
the
เม็ด
series.
โยรุเดี๋ยวก็โดนดิ
We'll see if that is a turning point for them in this map. From what I've seen so far, probably not.
I have absolutely no faith. We've already seen second rounds go the way of the team who lost the pistol. We started it out that way. and
แนท
for
เกือบขีด
DRX,
แล้วนะ
the
ดีเอ็ก
shots
เอ็ก
they've
โก
been
ช่วยไว้
hitting, I don't think anything in this match is guaranteed. It is a game of uncertainty. We came in with questions, one of them being who's the best of this team, and maybe now we've got an answer, but who's the best team? That's still up for debate. Still up for discussion, still up for competition as Team Liquid one round up. This should be housekeeping. It should be easy. A chore, an uncomfortable
ไม่
one
ค่อยชอบหรอกเวลาแบบ
sometimes, but
ซื้อแวนดอลเราสอง
not a difficult one.
เสี่ยงอยู่
Well, they are currently walking
เพื่ออนาคตที่ดีกว่าครับ
four-man stack, and well, now
ก็ปิด
the
บอก
four-man stack's coming to them. The defense trying to put the
นี่
pressure
อ่ะ
on.
นี่อ่ะ
Not crumbling.
ชอบก็ได้
นี่ก็บอกแบบว่าผมชอบอ่ะสิ
ขอบคุณที่ซื้อมานะ
He's been one of the best in the
โคตร
NBA
คีนอะ
all
โอ้โห
season. And the crowd calling for an ace. I will say he is about as far away from freeing as humanly possible. He would have to have the greatest teammates on the planet.
ผมสักบอล
And I
วิว
will
ค้างเลย
say they can only afford one death
ปืนไป
here.
ตก
So
นี่เป็น
I
เรื่อง
kind of hope that they're not throwing their weapons away for him to get
ดู
an
ละ
ace.
สีดีไม่มีครับ
Actually, Camo might not have a choice. He's out here on long. He's 7 HP. A single shot from Green will
Ow.
take him down, and that's exactly what happens. Damage on to Kiko as well. Lined up with Patatek. The chance for the ace is there, but we've seen it before. Patatek stealing the ace. It's poor form, Tom.
ถือว่าตามโควต้าครับ
I don't think he could see the guy, but you know, I guess, I
Should
guess,
never have shot.
yeah, unfortunate. Oh wow.
โอ้โห
This is the sort of
ไอ
stuff
ตัว
you
โย
want to
รู้
see
ยัง
from Kiko.
อย่าง
Sure,
เร็ว
it's up against pistols, but when he's on, he is a
โอ้โห
force to be reckoned with.
ขนาดภาพสโลว์แล้วเป้าแบบฟุบไปเลยนะ
สามารถทำได้ไม่โหลนะ
เป้าแบบฟุบไปเลยแม่งแบบเป้าเฟรมเดียวเมื่อกี้
เอออืมฝึกไงวะ
พาดนี้มาแต่นมนาน
I like this poison orb. That's
จ
really
ริงๆเขาไม่ค่อยใช้กันแล้วนะ พอมันเป็นพัฒนาข่าวอ่ะ
ตกเวต้าไปแล้วเนี่ย
Now
เอ
Bane
อ
thinks that angle should be clear at least for a little bit
เอ้า
longer. He goes
เรียบ
down
ร้อย
again.
เลยครับ
Almost
มิด
there
ทำมิ่ง
to
ไป
Most of the
จะมี
squad,
เกม3
Team Liquid is there waiting for that peak. All the while they drag these rotates from DRX towards the B site, a mass exodus of A.
ชอบ
And
ไป
they
พว
can
ก
just
เป้า
go
เฟรม
walking
เดียว
back.
ขี
The
ดที่
space
ผ่าน
hasn't been taken though.
Yeah.
There are players outside A, but no one has filled it in.
But also look at freeing. He is tagged so desperately low, so it's not like he can now go jump peeking, jiggle peeking, swinging angles because
อันนี้คือโบนัสราวของลิควิดนะเนี่ย
hell, even the Tiger could take
โบ
him
นัส
out
เป็น
at
ปืน
this
แน่น
stage.
ๆนะ
แน่นแบบแน่น
เกาะ
จัด
เต็ม
อะ
เลย
เออ
Sam
Careful,
คน
that's not really what is needed. In fact, they've had to gamble a
บริหาร
second
เงิน
player
ยังไง
over
วะ
to this side of the map. Well, the
วินแรก
Tigers
ไม่ซื้อ
hoping to
สกิล
finish him off. We'll
วิน
see
ที่
if
สอง
anyone
ออเดินอย่างเดียว
ซื้อเต็มใช่
Yeah, the Fangs
เป็น
did
แผน
find him,
ต้องมั่นใจแผนต้องมั่นใจปืนพกในระดับหนึ่ง
but they're going to be aware of this position.
ทำไมมันใช้
Best
กิ
play,
โกะ
wait
ดู
for the rest of the
ยู
team.
ทูจัง
Try to take advantage of the chaos. Hope that Liquid try to respond to the retake by pushing into his space.
แม่งทำมาโคตรโหดอะดันไป
But it's a passive play.
ชอบแผนปืนพกมันอ่ะโคตรดีอ่ะ
Not
Wait.
much utility left, and I think that's
แล้วแผนปืน
certainly
พกนี่
of
ต่อยอด
note
ไป
at
เล่น
this
อี
point.
โคได้ด้วย
Post
นะ
plant isn't really that much of an option, not as
อื้อหื
deep
อเรียบ
as
ร้อย
we'll see with this comp a little bit later on.
พอ
And
กัน
อย่าง
imagine
นี้ไปต่อ
the
ดีครับ
Camo
ผ
does
ม
well to find not their first of the round, but their first of the retake. A 3 versus 5.
เลยครับ
And the question for DRX: Do we go for it? Do we risk these weapons with such little
ถ้า
economy?
แนท
And
แน
the
ทเดิน
answer
เร็วกว่านี้
isn't
หน่อยนะ
clear now. They're running for the hills, and Team Liquid pushing up to 9.
ฉันบอกไอ้กูก็ไม่ค่อยมี
It's
ตังค์เหมือน
kind
กัน
of a brutal
อยู่ได้แหละ
scenario for them. They get absolutely played by the poison orb, which I'll say as well, with how powerful a post-plant tool that is a definite read from Liquid. That is them going, okay, they're going to try and get early info. Maybe they throw that haunt up high, as we've seen so many
Smoke bin
times.
แม่งโค
We
ตรเก่ง
hide
เหมือนกัน
within that poison
สมอง
orb.
มันใหญ่อะ
It's not the same as a sky smoke falling down, which is a very clear indicator that that has been avoided. And then because of that, they get that early pick, but also do enough damage on the other side of the map that I was actually looking at the contact point of where freeing was in lamps. If he swings, Camo is looking the complete opposite way and no one could cover him. But he doesn't have the HP to swing anymore. That was the one opening they had back into the site, and the second they lose another player, it's done. Like, you have to just retreat. Oh, clearly feeling the pressure a little bit. We've spoken about Liquid streaking rounds together has been a tough thing to do, bar that first half of Abyss. Well, now that they've managed to win this one, go 3-0 up, DRX are feeling the pressure.
Well, this is the first time it's really felt like Team Liquid has the lead. They've got their hands firmly wrapped around those reins, and for DRX, the fight back, it's not out of reach just yet. But with 3 rifles saved, they've still got a decent chance at what will be a mixed buy or a light buy. They have a decision to make. How much do they invest into this? The ones with rifles, add a little bit more, leaving themselves with less for the next, and does that mean a force-up? Maybe they try the bookie. Hell, it worked on the other side.
definitely not pretty. That's the other problem is you save all these guns and you feel the need to reinvest into your utility. It can kind of create this offset of never really having a particularly decent buy if you don't manage to make this work. So it's definitely put them in an odd position. The other thing as well is it's not like, oh yeah, we've got this ult that can pad the gap. This ult, there's nothing. The closest is going to be Marco having that orbital strike if he can get either 3 kills or claim 2 orbs. And for the defense, claiming those orbs is definitely not easy. What their plan is, push. Taking that little bit of extra control towards the A site.
อย่างนั้นเลยเหรอ
The Liquid have other ideas.
ผมเส้นข่าวประกัน
They have
ค
the
นวาร์
chance
ป
to play through the TP
กลัวขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ
DRX if the
แต่ตัว
pressure
มัน
was
หน้า
put on
เข้าวาร์ป
there.
อยู่นะ
But
พี่
instead, they decided to go
แล้วมัน
pushing
พุช
down
เลย
again. Filling back into that space, steps hurt. They
Ow.
made the right read. There's no utility coming through from Team Liquid.
โอ้โหทำไมมันถึงแบบ
ดูไม่ค่อยละเอียดเลยตาม
คือมันไม่ได้คอนโทรลแมปอยู่ไงทำไมมันถึงทำอย่างนั้นวะ
Takes the battle to them and leaves Kiko in a 1 versus 5.
แล้ววินนี้เขาไม่ได้ฟูลบายด้วย
Well played. The utility spent on B, the gradual fallbacks, the Viper wall up. It made it look like Liquid hadn't a chance if they went there. So they have to go the other way, and that's all part of the plan for DRX.
But you can see as well that I feel like Liquid's expectation was that was going to be a crunch. I think they put the poison orb on the TP. Like basically just so that if anybody tried to get through, now to cover them. They were expecting aggression, just not in the right place. And once he goes down, well, the rest of the team immediately pivot, and they are just not prepared for the aggression of Marco.
มันจะทำอย่างนี้ก็ต่อเมื่อแบบมีคนนึงมารออยู่สักหน้าห้องน้ำหรืออะไรเงี้ยแล้วก็แบบ
display of individual brilliance.
มีคอนโทรลแบบมีข่าวมีอะไรเนี่ยโอ้โหหลับหูหลับตาเดิน งงจัด
Now they managed to win with what was a couple of pistols still there.
With some upgrades as well. Bane coming in late. Sheriff kill. He'll make it out. Flashback sticks around for 1. And he gets his reward. Camo playing ahead. Maybe expecting that the TP had already been taken. Either way, it's a mistake. Nats with an
มีเหมือนกันครับพี่นัทบอกมีเหมือนกัน
You do not see this every day. I'll tell you that.
ส่งมังกรมาเลย
But I guess his expectation is that, okay, they've got this double duel.
ดาวนี่แหละ
There's
ทำไม
gonna be
ไม่
players
เล่นอ
looking
ย่าง
for
นี้
the fight. He was correct. He just wasn't in the right place. Now just sat back.
ทำแบบไหนน้องป๊อป
Microphone
Try and claim some
activated.
additional space. He managed to walk his way. This is the classic. He's walked all the way up. That operator
Ui.
still watching though, and that's taken out Kiko.
Ui.
He's managed to see a man on the other side, but DRX are not looking to fight this. Not looking to give that additional little battle over to Nats. In fact, he's going to go walking through, taking so much damage as he does. But his goal is not to fight these players. It's to get into the backlines. But look how prepared DRX are for this. They now have players watching from either side.
Orbital strike going to completely deny the plan. Trek's taken down as well. He'll go down with the ship, with his wingman.
พี่แนท
Flashback catches
ฝืน
Nats.
ชะตากรรมจัดๆอะ
Posturing, and it leaves them with nothing. And for Panatek, yeah, he is way out.
เละละเละละงี้
Trying
เละ
to
ละ
play a super late lurk, but when the whole team crumbles like that, all you can do is save.
Yeah, he needs to as well. Like you start looking at the finances of Liquid holding onto this gun could make a pretty significant difference. But that's a solid round from DRX. I think bringing the flashback operator in, like him just having that element of maneuverability, able to put himself into positions to find those openers, escape, and find the opener again. But then also just the A-site hold was so patient. They didn't give anything to Nats. Like, he's busy trying to hunt down players, find his team some value. And for the whole round, he's basically just a non-factor, even though he had so much space.
1 round between them. I felt like Liquid were at least going to push up to that double-digit mark, and from there, the world's their oyster. Just a few rounds ago when DRX had those 3 rifles and 2 pistols to play with, 3 players digging deep in terms of their economy to make that happen, and look at the reward they found. 1 round between them. Orbital strike online, and you know what? It's going to be used. Sent it up to Bane, but it's only a trade, and they've lost Camo. The man who would have taken that orb and been 1 away from the showstopper. Instead, he's still 1 away, but it's going to have to be saved for the next round. I mean, credits where they're at. That's not ideal.
It's a successful ult combo. At least they don't go a man down, but it's a heavy investment.
ได้ยินบอกว่าตอนลง
We now sit there
ถ้าอยู่ชิดน่าจะได้ยินอยู่
looking
นะ
at a patient DRX. You've got the operator locking down the other side, and Hyunmin again is going to go looking for information, but he's managed to take quite a bit of control. They've stuck themselves in towards Hookah, but have left themselves stuck in the mud. Even still, they hold the line.
ทำไมน้องมันไม่นั่นน่ะ
Absolute shutdown of the liquid push. They might get caught by the flashes, but it means absolutely nothing.
นึกว่าน้องมันจะยิงตัวหน้าฮุก้า
I don't know who broke the Gecko flash that came through. I think it might have been Fring, but that was so important.
30 seconds.
Those players were going to be dead to rights if that connected up close in outside of Hookah. And at that point, the round falls. It crumbles. And DRX see Liquid push up to 10. A huge punish. And again, it's going to be one player on that attack side left to save this weapon. But it's worrying. This is where you want perhaps a pause to come through. At 9-6, DRX did it, and they managed to course correct immediately. Now they're neck and neck again for Team Liquid. A team that comes in as, I think in most people's minds, certainly look, EMEA number 1, Pacific number 4. They are the favorites. They are 100%. The ones with the pressure on their shoulders. And for DRX, heating up like this so early on, already having a map to the good, and now on the map where Liquid think, well, we're comfortable. We can take the fight to them. It's not the case. Well, not convincingly.
It's giving the context of how DRX even qualified. It was the match of Talon facing off against RNG. Talon with 2-0 in the lead. They close out one of the last 3 maps, and DRX aren't even here. Well, we're talking about Talon playing.
ถ้ายิงไม่ทันเรียบร้อยเลยไอ้2คนตรงนั้นข่าว
Number 2 seed, push someone else down, so it would have been a completely different story. DRX make a last-minute roster change as well, bringing Bane back in. And wow, what a change that seems to have been. Flashback able to go over to the duelist and Bane. That's the second round in a row we've seen him just spam through, and this time, well, there's no orbital strike to try and balance that one out.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, he's the one with the ultimate, and that confirms no one's here anymore. The A site's the right place to be. Hyunmin starts to rotate around. He's now going to be here to help out with this push if it does come down here, and the big problem, the op in that corner. Trex is stuck. He has to face him. He has to cross him. And you don't cross Flashback without paying the price. But Bane, in a 5v3, walks down B long. That's left the B site wide open.
Yeah, the thing is, Nats doesn't know that. It doesn't know how much of a commitment there was, so they still have to be patient, but eventually will get themselves in onto the site. Flashback, having that dimensional drift available, will be able to get themselves into post, but the plant not given over to Camo means he doesn't have that ultimate online yet. They're trying to put the pressure on. He needs a kill, and he'll find it. Now that's the showstopper. Immediately puts into play, but he's trying to find the target, and he'll get it. Hyunmin down. Giving him the advantage. Camo's taking over. Just the one standing, but that one is Flashback. He has been a man to deal with, and a rifle picked up.
โอ้แล้วว่างนี่คือแบบอสานอะ
So patient. He's expecting that they're towards long, but both players are going to be swinging from the same.
วาง
ไม่สนเลยว่า
ไม่เอาอะไรแล้วอะวางนี่คือมอบเลย
Well, they don't let the lead slip. They will take it back with 10.
โมมันจัดให้
Such an important round for Camo, especially Tom. It looked like a mistake not seeing that orb go to him, especially when you're in a disadvantage. I was very surprised with the fact that he finds that opening onto Fring, that he can catch Hyunmin and then lands it onto Mako. That single-handedly saved the round, and perhaps Team Liquid's life
จะโดดยาว
on that upper bracket run.
เนี่ยทีมเต็งน่าจะเป็นไปได้ยากแล้ว
But it's Liquid still in the lead. It's Thrash online for Trex, making a side exec much easier.
ทำไมมันไม่เอาฟอร์มที่เยอรมันมาด้วยนะหรือว่า DX มันโหด
They've got a good chance. So he wants to push into them.
Don't know if Flashback goes any further than this.
Gate crash fading.
I would open him up.
แค่หมด
A couple of angles,
ผม
but
ว่าเดี๋ยวโยลุมต้องโดนเลยบิ๊กแน่เลยอาจจะแบบวาร์ปตอนตัวไปก็ได้ยินเสียงด้วย
with the angles held.
หรือไม่ก็เวลาอันติแล้วลดวิชั่นลง
One will be put into play. They want to try and hold on to this.
เหมือน
The fact is, though, Liquid
เหมือนได้เห็นแต่
have
เห็น
ground to a
ไม่
hold.
เห็
They're
นทั้งแมป
expecting
เลยไม่เห็นจงแจ้งนะ
there to be some level of aggression.
ถ้ามันเนื้อกว่านี้นี่จะไม่ได้
แต่
หร
ตั
อ
ว
นะ
ตัวมันโกงเกินอ่ะพี่แบบมันทำได้ทุกอย่างเลย
While the Tiger sent through on A,
เกิน
you
ไป
can see Camo posturing, ready to push on up.
จังหวะวาร์ป
In
ออก
goes
เนี่ยน่า
Thrash.
จะได้ยิน
A lot of pressure on A, but Spike's still in spawn. From DRX's perspective, this looks like a hit, but I think the rotate to B is far more likely. They'll pick up that spike and rush on in. Hyunmin finds one, but Pannysgg is good for the trade, and he's just a distraction right now. He is drawing their eyes, but DRX haven't full rotated. They've left Mako on this side of the map. Bane's been holding on to control of B long. They're suspicious of this play and rightfully so.
เรียบร้อย
Bane will find his reward.
มุมนี้ยังไงคนเข้ามาก็ไม่เช็ค
Be
นะ
patient.
มุมเบน
Play
เมื่อกี้
this one with his teammate, and Bane is the one to find the pick. They can swing
เรียบร้อยครับ
together on Kiko. Spike down. 12 seconds as the rest of DRX arrive. They will not fall for Liquid's bait. It's
มุม
DRX
เดียวกับเมทิโอเลย
neck and neck
นั่งข้างส
again.
โมุก
Yeah, they're reading this game incredibly well. The goal from Liquid has been to try and have that push and pull, sell the fake in, throw the thrash in, force them back, and that's exactly what they did. But then Nats falls on one side, and because of that, they don't gamble the rotation, they don't pull that second player over. I feel like Bane, well, it's in the name. He's been the bane of their lives. He's causing them so many issues.
Don't
Just
be long
sat
when
back
you're
in this
there,
corner, over towards the garden, time and time again. And while at 10-10, Liquid will take a pause. And I want to give context as well of what the loser has to deal with. The previous champion's winner. That's what happens if you lose. If you take a defeat, you go up against Khan and his merry men.
ที่หนึ่งอีมิลิงเอเปกคอมใหม่แล้วเดี๋ยวรอดูเอฟนัตติกก่อน
And no matter how confident you are in Liquid, the number 1 seed, they've looked great
ปารีสไฟนอลบอสอะ
regionally.
ปารีสไฟนอลบอสยังไม่ได้ลงสนามไง
Of course, some of the time that was because of players not being able to get there. Definitely a tough time for them. But I don't think you can be
คือสำหรับผมเวลา
completely
ออกอินเตอ
confident
ร์
in either team
แฟน
falling
ติกดู
into
ดี
that
กว่า
lower
จริง
bracket
มัน
when they're up against
เหมือนมัน
CDG.
เจอมาบ่อยแล้ว
Certainly shouldn't be. It'd be a different
นี่
story
จริง
if
เลย
they
มี
found
ให้
their
เห็น
way down there and needed this massive
ใน
comeback,
EMEA
return
Liquid
to
ตึง
form because they looked weak today. That's
Yeah.
not the case. They were not pulling blows. They were landing a lot of solid rounds, and I think
และเอฟนัตติกดูฟอร์มสเตจ2ไม่ได้ด้วย
lasted,
Yeah.
เอฟนัตติกบอกชิล
or even just one of the maps over on Abyss.
น่าจบแล้วนะ
For Team
ไม่เอา
Liquid,
ลิควิดไม่เอาขาดแล้ว
10
ลิ
on
ควิ
the
ด
board, but it's not likely to be 11. The economy is very weak. 2 rifles,
ขาดประสบการณ์เหรอ
a stinger, and a pistol. For DRX, they have everything to work with. This
ก็โดน
should be
โด
the
นแก้
lead to
มา
the
ก่อนโดน
defensive
แบบว่า
side, but
โดนรู้
stranger
ว่า
things
เล่น
have
ยังไงเลย
certainly happened, even just here today.
Oh, it's early space taken. Nice
จ
shot
ริง
from
ๆหัว
Bane
อย่าง
again.
นี้
As said,
เห็นแว๊บ
they have struggled to deal with him on this site. Combination of utility trying to create pressure, and pressure is being created. Flashback missing a shot. Flash immediately around the corner. He's so blind and will fall
ซูม
because of
ซูม
it.
โดนแฟด
Spike down once again. With these weak purchases, Liquid get a chance.
Liquid have got the op as well. They've
วาง
done
เปิด
the
ปะ
work, the groundwork with the spike down.
ๆเปิดยิง
สโมองหมดแล้ว
Might not be an advantage just yet, but it's a lot closer to it than they were just moments ago.
เฮ้ย
The defuse already starts. Blind catches everybody. Liquid spamming though, and the players up
Ow!
top. The defuse from Mako.
อะไรอ่ะ
He stands in the open. They spray too low, and that will give DRX 11. That was a shaky start, but DRX have control.
Yeah, it's once again. Bane gets the
โอ้
opener.
เบน
And then Bane is the one that basically just defends his teammate while the spams are coming through.
โอ้โห
Clearing
เล่น
out
แบบ
the
ว่า
remainder. What a
เบนแม่งเล่นเหมือนแบบ
fantastic
แฮว
individual
เอทิล่าออก
display
แบบ
from a
100%
man that coming into this tournament we didn't even expect to be in the roster. Like, I didn't know he was
จะ
in
บอก
the
ว่าเฮ้ย
roster
เมื่อกี้แม่งกระโดดจาก
today.
คูก้ามากูพีกออกไปยิงกลางอากาศเลยว่ะเพื่อน
Well, I think they're going to
ชั
be
วร์
pretty
ดู
happy
จาก
that
มือ
they
แล้วเมื่อ
brought
กี้
it back.
ชัวร์มาก
11 to 10 rifles for Team Liquid. Ult on Patatek. That's the only one for now, but this could be a crazy round for
นั่น
DRX.
แน่
Hyunmin,
You see
Fring,
long.
and Bane all one away. Bane, thanks to his 4K in the previous, a single pick, a single orb. The favor of this round swaps completely from a close one, a hard one to call. The heavily favored one for that defensive side, who've now been chaining rounds. They've been looking good. But we're used to the game of tennis, the score line of deuce, the back and forth. Someone's going to crack the code eventually.
เบรกเกมเสิร์ฟเลยช็อตนี้
It's gonna slow them on their
เฮ้ย
take.
เอ้า
Freeing
อ้าว
the corner will be dealt with
นี่ไง
immediately.
เขาไม่
Hyunmin
ใช้กันแล้ว
needs to go
แผน
big
เถื่อน
and
อะไร
doesn't
ไฟพาวเวอร์ดีกว่า
immediately taken down, and they've even managed to remove Bane. The problem is Marco's still standing. Nats with the pit, and the spike wasn't necessarily committed to this side of the map. In fact, it's incredibly far away. It'll have to be a little bit perplexing to the other side. In fact, They are now going to take it into the B
อ้าว
side.
เหงาเลยแนท
ยังไงทีนี้
Ended up just being a ruse, but that feels much more like a mid-round call. You've dealt with Bane. Now you got a post plant.
But the damage here,
ยังสไนด์อยู่อีกเหรอ
the op is being picked back up, but it makes it a lot closer than it might seem. Pannysgg and Camo have
เซฟไปเลยมั้งเซฟด้วยมั้ง
They've been able
DRX
to claim their spots to fight from.
รวย
But Liquid need to be so careful not to overpeak.
เดี๋ยวแนท
DRX already
ทำอะไร
finding the
Oh,
opening.
again.
They baited Mako into the open with the tap. Another tap coming through. The scars of the previous round where the defuse was stuck. Still showing here.
เฮ้ย
Mako!
เดี๋ยวแล้วแนทมันไปไหนอะ
Defuse for the Red Bull clutch. 12 for DRX. How have they gotten away with that?
โปรโนเฟก
The maestro of Marco has manipulated them once again. The last round he sticks it from the very beginning. This time taps it and then just almost plays the bait as teammate goes down and they assume in most
Net
cases,
ไปไหนวะ
not for the wrong of them, that there's no
พี่แนท
way he'd
พา
stick
เฉ
it
ย
now. But this man has made the right call every single time. Leader of the pack and back on the international stage.
ที่ไม่อยากเชื่อสายตาตัวเองวะ
The goal it took to stick that now leaves Liquid
พี่แนทเขานึกว่าสวนหลังบ้านแล้วเมื่อกี้ไปเดินแวะไปเดินวิ่งเล่นมาวันนี้ ชมวิว
That could help.
แนทมันฮาจัดเลย
The flashback's got a victim in mind. It's the showstopper himself, stuck in the corner, and Op watching his crossback. He's stunned too. The flash goes in. They know there's two players here. Blood in the water. The DRX are hunting it down. Young Min catches Camo. That was one of the
GG.
main things the Team Liquid could rely
เรียน
on.
ติดอะ
The showstopper, if found, could change the course of this round. At least give them a leg up, and instead they are falling. One by one till it's a 5v3, a 5v2.
GG.
Nenครับ
On the cusp of taking this series, a series everybody would have favored to Team Liquid at 2-0, the likely result. And look at them now.
พี่ไม่อยากเชื่อว่าแนทหลุดจัดอะ
Masters of the group stage for a reason.
เป็นไปได้ไงวะ
ไม่อยากจะเชื่อว่าหลังจากเรานะ
Spot has
มันดู
always
แม่ง
had
เล่น
their
มั่ว
name
ๆไป
on
เลย
it,
นะ
and that means they need to make it out of the groups.
มัน
but
โดน
they're
อะไรเข้า
looking
สิงวะ
to do it in style. Kiko is all that stands in their way, and of course it's flashback to deal the final blow. A late change for this roster, and a change that seems to have brought them right back to the tip top of the tier 1.
งงว่ะ
EMEA's number
GG.
one has fallen at the hands of
เดี๋ยวพี่แนท
DRX.
แล้วเต็งแชมป์แพ้นัดแรกเลยนะลิควิด
May not even have been here. Their arrival